No, yeah, no, no,
Yeah. How do we even know? Hold on. Are we even on air?
Like, what the hell? We're so out of whack right now. This is weird.
At least your mic's working, Greg.
Yeah, thank God. I know. I had to like make sure the technological aspect of my setup was good, you know?
Greg, what do you tell your barber when you get a haircut?
Buzz on the side and back, and then just neaten up the top because I got the receding hairline and I need it hidden as
you have a
long as I
receding
can.
hairline?
I've had it for a while, dude.
No,
yes.
you don't. Look
yes,
down.
I do.
Look down. It's pretty good still. Let me see the back.
I can't like.
Well, you said that's a pretty good line. Pretty good line.
I've had this. I swear, because here's the thing: when I was growing up, like I would only get the buzz cut, and then after a while, when I started realizing, wow, like the line up here is just bad, I might as well start growing.
I show people your LinkedIn picture to show them chubby Greg.
I remember one time I showed people like a picture of me from college, like my freshman year, and then they see, and it's not the hair, they just see like the extra weight, and they're like, "That's not you." And I'm like, "Yeah,
dude." I full transparency did not think it was you when I looked back the other day. I look pretty often. Do you use your LinkedIn?
No, fuck no. I haven't updated that thing since like senior year of college, and that was just because it was a requirement I had to do. I've not touched that thing. I don't even know my password.
Yeah. Okay. I want to take control of that one day. Big week, Greg. A lot to talk about, a lot to get into. We are, in fact, all wearing black today, huh, Josh?
Not only are we all wearing black today, but today I've brought the beer sling. I'm talking about Hawkey today, and I'm going to need every little one of these fuckers to get through this.
I like how it's bent in the middle like an old person's penis.
Listen,
how much is in that thing, just out of curiosity?
Don't worry about it, Greg.
Is it cold?
Not enough.
And is it cold, just out of curiosity? So you're like just
the fucking Wyoming mountains.
What is
so your
it?
your entire chest or back is just going to be freezing the entire time you're doing the show then?
What's the beer?
I think a bunch of stuff in here.
If Carhartt made a seltzer, what would the flavor be?
Pine.
Douche.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think you could say that. You're from Western Pennsylvania.
Shout out the hounds.
That's illegal.
Shout out the hounds.
That was fighting words on their part.
Yeah, I know. I just attacked an entire segment of Pittsburgh creators accidentally.
Literally, dude.
All right, let's crack these beers and talk, gentlemen.
Let's do it. Well, I think Josh already cracked his by accident because
I was excited.
No, I wasn't even gonna. I was just gonna go into it. But Greg, thank you for calling him out.
Premature cracking, not cool, man.
2, 1, action. Oh, Gregory, what kind of water do you got today?
Nah, still from last week. I got my Heineken Zero still.
Oh.
I've got enough in there to last me until the end of Lent, and I plan on exhausting it until that happens. So
I got an issue with that.
Go ahead with your issue.
Josh, I think you know what I'm going to ask. Greg, what did you give up for Lent?
Oh, yeah.
Alcohol.
No. What did you give up for Lent?
Alcohol.
Okay, so what are you drinking?
Non-alcoholic beer.
What's the percent of alcohol in that?
Oh.
0.0.
That can't be.
0.09.
Mm-hmm. 0.09. Have you looked this up?
So there is a certain number of non-alcoholic beers you can drink that will get you drunk. No beer is truly non-alcoholic.
It's part of the fermenting process.
So
that's why I've seen like the Brooklyn stuff is like 0.5, I think. And I've also seen some other ones. Like I think Brewdog's is also 0.5 as well.
My point though is, Greg.
Oh, he's saying you're a bad Christian.
I'm saying Jesus hates you.
I've never claimed to be a good Christian, so I'm.
Then why? What?
I've never claimed to be a good one. So where is this coming from?
You're doing Lent. You already broke it.
Listen, this is how I am choosing to participate, and I'm sticking to it in that case. I'll be judged on my dying days, and I'm staring at whatever pearly gate is in front of me, and whoever decides to judge me and says, hey, you gave up alcohol for Lent, but you still consumed a little bit. Should I still let you in?
It won't be that. It'll be the strangling the cats thing that'll get you out of heaven, buddy.
Retweeting
point.
Devin Bush's tweet where he threw the cat off the roof. That's what's going to not get you in.
That's what's going to keep you out, Greg.
Yeah.
Damn it. I thought, but it's the thing. Dogs go to heaven, cats go to hell. So, like, therefore, I should be in the clear then. I'm good.
Do they say that in the movie?
It's the movie. All dogs go to heaven.
Yeah,
literally,
but I don't think they say all cats go to hell in the movie.
I think all of the cats are in hell, though.
I don't think it's called hell.
I don't think that's how that works.
Oh, I mean, what did Wiz Khalifa drive?
What?
A Hellcat.
Mm-hmm. Cats.
I mean, cats definitely don't go to heaven.
Also, in the 1999, the real version of the Mummy, cats are the guardians of the underworld. So
true.
Well, that's a thing.
Yeah, but that also explains like why cats are part of like the dead. It's the bad, they're evil. They're evil sons of bitches.
Kind of like you breaking Lent.
Supposedly, and I'm leaving it at that.
I made myself cough. All right, let's get into it. Josh, what is our first topic tonight?
I'm still Googling whether or not
we didn't even go over like what you guys are drinking. We just went on this tangent about me going to heven or hell.
It's Modelo time. I just had to use my fridge. I feel really sick, so I just want to do light beer. Not really sick. I feel like I have a head cold.
Damn, what is this? Last week Josh was sick, and now you're sick. Like
we're hanging out. We hung out. You're gonna.
I mean, this is 2 months ago, but yeah.
Well, I just meant right now.
That's true.
You could catch a virus.
Ha ha ha.
You know what I mean, Greg?
I know what you mean, but
Josh, what are you drinking? Is that the new one?
Bama Mountain from Blacktooth.
Oh,
I thought you. Wait. Okay. So wait. I thought. Where's the Fat Tire?
I had Fat Tire earlier today.
What? Yeah. Tell me. I didn't even know they made a new one.
Yeah. So they completely.
Oh yeah.
You would think the marketing guy would know that Fat Tire completely rebranded, put out a brand new branding campaign.
Now, the good beer side of me doesn't care about Fat Tire.
Whoa. What you got heat with Fat Tire? Why is this?
It's Yingling's gross stepbrother. It's okay, but the people that tout it, Greg, it makes no sense. No, it's not like an elite beer.
Because that's a trash-ass statement.
All right, Josh is muted on Zoom.
Trash-ass statement.
It's just not a good enough beer for the hype it gets at all.
I can't hear.
I would say Fat Tire is like the introduction for a lot of people going into craft beer, though. It's like your litmus to kind of get you an understanding of what it is you like. Do you like something sweeter? Would you like something with more bite? Greg, it's like the perfect safe beer.
Here's what I'll say. If Josh gives me a good reason before 6:10 why Fat Tire is a good beer, I will apologize live on air.
Well, he's got an hour then because he's 2 hours ahead. So
okay, then 5:10. I'll give him 5:11. Josh,
also,
give me a good
I'm only
reason
an hour
why Fat
behind
Tire's a good beer.
Derek, but that's fine. It's okay. Time's confusing.
I mean, I don't know. I can barely. Yeah. I can't hear his understanding and stuff. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
He only has like another minute to give us a
Fat Tire.
I don't know how well this is going to go over and stuff.
I don't know.
Was right at the beginning
really like
of the
to know
boom
what he's saying right now, but I also kind of don't because
Dogfish.
I just think it's funny to imagine what he's saying.
I didn't know I had this power to be completely honest to mute him.
It's kind of scary that you do. I didn't realize you had it either.
Josh didn't want to get the Zoom. I told him I'd give him my Zoom login, and he didn't.
I get muted.
Login.
Am I muted?
I think he gave up so much power and didn't even realize it. He should not have signed that contract.
It's 6:09, Josh.
I think the best part of this is that everyone can still hear me.
If he can
just
figure out in a minute at the same time of coming up with an excuse for
you don't
Fat Tire
understand
while
how this
also
works.
getting control back from you to be able to answer, that would be incredible.
Damn it, Bean.
The coolest
All right, I'm
control.
gonna unmute Josh because Bean tore his toy in half, and oh no, he unmuted himself, and I just clicked mute again.
Damn it, Josh.
Your little
Bad
joke.
timing on your part.
Oh wait,
yeah.
he unmutes himself. I just asked him to unmute.
Ooh.
Your little
Josh,
joke was really, really bad because you're the only two that couldn't hear me.
What?
Yeah.
That's not true. You
No,
come
it's
through
not
my.
true.
because my mic goes directly into OBS.
That's okay.
So
Well,
That was
everyone
a
don't
else
good
play
heard me.
bet. The entire joke was that you needed to tell me why beer was good by the 10-minute mark, and you couldn't.
All right. Why don't you go clean up the bean toy, and I'm going to play this cool new intro I made.
Your joke about the joke was terrible.
All right, bye. All right, Greg, are you ready? I wrote a lot of jokes about this. I'm going to go over the fastest 2 minutes.
Hang
NHL.
on.
What?
Is this something that I'm going to have to time you on? Because I
No.
will do it since you brought this up.
No.
All right.
This is my fastest 2 minutes NHL Trade Deadline recap. Are you ready?
Shout out Chris Berman for the inspiration in this case. I'm ready, Josh.
The NHL Trade Deadline is tomorrow, but all the hot moves have happened today. Patrick Kane is now a Ranger. Oh, but wait, there's more. So is Tarasenko and Tyler Mine. Okay. The Leafs added former league MVP and Conn Smythe winner Ryan O'Reilly and add minute muncher Jake McCabe to their blue line and bring back the former scapegoat of the franchise, Luke Shen. Whoop! Boston is having literally the best season in NHL history. So what they do? Go out and get a top 20 defenseman, Dmitry Orlov, and then add everybody's least favorite son, Tyler Bertuzzi. The Preds are sellers at the deadline, sending Nino Niederreiter to Winnipeg, Tanner Jeannot to Vegas, Matthias Ekholm to Edmonton. And then it's okay, though, because they brought Barry Trotz on as the GM. Huh? Vegas also had another top 6 winger in Ivan Barbashev. Shut down defenseman, and then after shutting down Mark Stone for the rest of the season. Boy, people are going to be pissed when he scores 10 goals in the playoffs for the Knights, and they're $15 million over the cap. The Devils gave up the farm for 26-year-old, 30-plus goal nuclear missile in Timo Meyer and further their mission to win every game 9-7. Carolina selects the category of former blue chip talent with impossible names to spell for 400, please, as they had Jesse Puljujärvi and Shane Gostisbehere. LA trades Jonathan Quick for 2 rentals because nothing is sacred anymore. Ottawa gets the Bella de Ball by giving up 3 picks for Jacob Chikrin. Now that gives Arizona more picks next year than players they have signed. And that is the fastest 2-minute recap of the NHL Trade Deadline.
That was the longest 2 minutes of my life.
That was impressive, and I think you need a lozenge
That was
now.
well
after
written.
That, so. I also like that it was like a funny joke by saying that no one can spell anyone the Carolina Hurricanes as well, when in actuality you can also not spell either. So I like that nice little poking and fun.
Spell Puljujärvi or Gostisbehere right fucking now.
I'm not doing
Don't make me
Puljujärvi.
say the
There's
words you messed up, Josh, and ask you to spell it.
I'm not doing Puljujärvi because there's random
Wait,
J's and
Greg.
Y's in that one. So no.
Josh,
even
can you
pronounce
hold on, Josh?
Whatever.
Can you spell deadline for me?
Well, it's oh no.
That's amazing.
It's right there, idiot.
The D-line. This is the NHL D-line.
I didn't realize we were talking Cam Hayward for a second, but
That's
okay,
correct.
I'm cool with it.
Oh,
So let's start with some teams and go from their smalls. We need to clip the last time we show in Deke's face. Funniest content we'll put out. Josh, here's my problem. I was definitely just staring off, but I was listening to you, imagining Berman say it.
Yeah.
So like I looked like this. Just the entire. Oh, I'm lost, guys.
Oh fuck.
What a world. Shout out Smalls. What's up, buddy? That'll be a clip. So let's start with the Pens. Let's start at home.
Sure.
I just want to say we were better than Nashville. It was a great game. Had a lot of fun. I don't understand the 2 trades we made.
Me
So we bring in.
We're getting the wrong trade.
Yeah, like we brought. Who did we bring in? But I know we got rid of Bluger.
Yeah, so we traded for Mikkel Granlund,
Yes.
who was on Nashville.
Yep.
And literally, it seemed like we traded
He
for him
missed a
because
breakaway.
he missed a breakaway, and
The
we're
2
like,
guys
oh,
behind me.
Yeah.
They said, That's the difference. They got 4 guys who I knew the 4 guys they're talking about. They got 4 guys who can score on breakaways, and we don't got one of them. And then we traded for that guy.
Why? Why?
The best is
Why were
Josh,
there Yinzers cheering for
no,
the
they were just
Predators?
old white guys. It just
Okay.
sounds the same. The best is they do this thing, which I don't know, Josh, if you're aware of this chant, but they do this whole thing where they go, "Hey, the goalie, Jari,
You
you suck.
Yeah.
It's all your fault."
Right.
I was like, "Hey, Jari, you suck. It's all you." Like,
Yeah.
I kind of was also cheering it. But then we scored the first goal, and I looked at my buddy Sam, and I said, "How does it go?" "Hey, Joseph, you suck." I was like, Sam, is this it?
suck.
It's all your. And everyone was looking. We're in like
That's
season tickets that have been had for 15 years.
Oh, fantastic. Like since the
Yeah.
beginning of the franchise.
That's amazing.
Fantastic.
That's amazing. There's
I
probably people
soiled
that
it.
know the people that are there the
Yeah.
entire
Oh, yeah.
time too, and you're just like the
I got
dickhead
fist
that
bumped by
bothered.
They're like, "Oh, we love the Pinsleys. This will be great." And I'm there in a Max Talbot Winter Classic jersey.
You're like,
I
Clearly
forgot
you
it's a
know
Max
nothing about
Talbot.
this
Oh
player.
my god.
Sorry. So, Josh, we pick up Grantland,
yeah,
but then we shift Bluger, which,
we just sent him out for nothing.
yeah.
For nothing. We're just like, here, please take our penalty killer. This would
Whose
be great.
daughter did he have sex with? Like, I'm very
that's-
confused.
Hang on. We know that if you have sex with Mike Sullivan's daughter, that means you get to play in the top 6. Thank you,
Yeah.
Connor Sheary. So it
Shout
couldn't
out
have been
Connor
that.
Sheary.
Maybe he turned
Well,
down one of
Sheary.
his daughters.
Maybe. Yeah, the whole Sherry thing, they suck.
Fuck that guy.
Which
He
so
sucks.
dumb, by the way. I cannot believe that whole thing in general. But yeah, we get rid of our best penalty killer. We get a guy who still
And
has
third
3 more
line
years.
center.
And
Yes.
third line center, yes. We get a guy who is supposed to be our third line center or third line winger, depending on which way they want to use Jeff Carter for this time. And he's got 3 years left on his contract with about $5 million per average annual value. So that's $5 million now more we have to deal with for next year's cap, where we have to re-sign Jari, Zucker, and maybe Dumo at a reduced cost, but that's after the purpose on that one.
Also, this guy's
I-
never scored 30 goals.
No,
Never.
That's a really
His-
good point.
his passing numbers are supposedly ridiculous, though. There was like 1 year I
don't give a shit about that boring metric.
No, I know, but like I just was blown
Unless
away.
it's
Like there was
Crosby.
1 year he had like 11 goals and 52 assists, which was kind of an absurd like difference on that one. But the only thing the only positive that I can take away from this thought is that they did want to get another center, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming they didn't want to spend money on JT Miller because Miller's cap hit next year was going to be $8 million. And we're going to have him for 7 more years on that deal. So
Ain't that the guy from, ain't that the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah. All right. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that we're all on the same. He has lettuce. So
mhm.
So
That's
what?
the only logic.
Why didn't they get rid of? Okay, none of this makes any sense.
I like the hockey guy asking Greg questions. Ask it.
Okay, so we went and got another center, and we're gonna still play Jeff Carter. Is that what we're gonna do instead of going Crosby,
He's a
Malkin,
big dude.
Granlund, Bluger? We're
Mhm.
going to somehow force this guy to play out of position. Oh my god!
Apparently, this guy can play wing or center, which is the logic here. And as it has been expunged numerous times on Twitter, they can't get rid of Carter. He has a no movement clause. He can't be waived.
Well, he can barely move on the ice, so that makes sense.
I know. It says a lot. Yeah,
you can
He can't be
buy him
waived.
out. You could cut him.
You can't cut him. He has no movement clause on his contract. They cannot get rid of him.
Can you cut someone?
Yeah,
with
that sounds
a
wild.
no movement clause.
Why did we give him a no movement clause? His name is Jeff Carter.
Because
The player cannot be waived, assigned to the minors, or traded. Is waived and cut the same in hockey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
This also means they cannot be exposed in the expansion draft. Yeah. Why does Jeff Carter have that?
I don't know.
Because well, here's the other thing too. They decided to save him instead of Jared McCann and Brandon Tanev, and look how that worked out for us. Jared McCann should be our starting third line center right now, and he's also
with
significantly
Tanev on his
younger.
fucking wing. Because
Mhm.
where are they again, Greg? They're not. That team's not any good this year, right? Wherever they went. Oh wait, they're in fucking Seattle, ripping
Yeah.
it up.
Mhm. So, a lot to be said on
Is-
this one, folks.
How do you get a no movement clause?
You literally
Why, you want
negotiate it.
No. So
I'll give you one right now.
So Deanne Coy's Dickaface, He said to be copy and pasted. Jeff Carter could not be moved. This is why it's called a no movement clause. He can't be cut, waived, released, demoted, anything. That's the nature of a 35 and over contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
if you're
age.
over 35, you get this?
No.
Apparently.
You could ask for it.
Okay, so he's just saying the way I read this was like, oh, you're 35 next year? Welcome to the no movement clause.
No. That's not how it works. But
That'd be
a lot
sick.
of older players tend to ask for that because I don't know if you've heard this analogy, but hockey
Yeah.
players like where their stuff is.
Yeah.
And so they don't like to move.
Only players that are 27 or older or
Really?
have 7 accrued seasons are eligible for no trade or no
Correct.
movement clause.
Correct.
No trade means it can't be traded. No movement means they can't move.
Right.
Mhm.
I want a no movement clause in every sport because it sounds like a pouting little baby, and I love it.
And
Like
then
you
you
can't
have
even
to
be cut.
you have to so like Jonathan Quick had a no trade clause. They had to go beg him to waive it. And then and that's exactly how the Rangers got Patrick Kane because he had a new movement
Yeah.
clause that he had to waive, but he would only waive it to go to the Rangers.
Mm-hmm. It screws the team because then you're only negotiating with one person. You can't go about anything else to try to get better packages for someone. That's
Well, I mean,
where you kind of get screwed. Yeah.
I know that part because there's no trade clause in the NFL. The difference is the cut
Right.
factor. I don't
Yeah.
get that. Or the down to the minors thing. I do get that because once you're 27, being sent out of the minors feels like a death sentence at that point.
Right.
Shout out Brock McGinn.
Who was that other guy that was from
Kasperi
Pennsylvania?
Oh,
no,
right.
that everybody played hockey with growing up. All the Slippery Rock guys played deck with him and shit. He was a Penn for a hot second. He was supposed to be good. He was from Penn Trafford or some shit. You know him, Greg.
Oh Jesus.
Everybody's friends with him on Twitter and shit. What the freak?
Bo Bennett?
Bo Bennett.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Is he
'cause
from
played-
Pittsburgh?
No.
No.
He's from
Oh,
No, he's
everybody in
from-
Pittsburgh loves him.
Yes.
No, Bo Bennett
yes.
was playing. No, everybody at Slip loved him because Bo Bennett apparently played inline in the summer. So
Yeah,
they
that
just
makes
gravitated towards him.
He did.
Yeah.
I think Christian told me that. That's cool.
Mhm.
Other teams here. So yeah, I saw the Jonathan Quick stuff. I have a question for you guys about Jonathan Quick to the Las Vegas Golden Knights, Patty Kane over to the Rangers. Does any of that matter? Because I feel like if the Pens wanted to try, they would have bought, but we all know that the Bruins are where they are, so it's kind of an arms race that no one wants to be a part of, as you've said in the past, Josh. So do those moves even matter?
So the Rangers moves, getting Tarasenko, Mott, and Patrick Kane, is them attempting to fix their scoring problems with guys who are way past their prime.
Yeah.
We will see. So the good news for the Rangers is that Tarasenko and Kane both have a lot of reputation of being great in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they're attempting to match the Bruins in the arms race. That's
Yeah.
what their game plan is.
Not to mention that, but Artemi Panarin loves playing with Patrick Kane, and they're on the same line
Sure.
together, supposedly. So
Great. Will that make a difference? Will that move the needle for them? To be determined. It could.
Yeah.
It probably won't. The thing that moves the needle for them is they have arguably one of the best, if not the best goalie in the world, one of the best goalies in the world. So we'll see.
Igor.
We'll
I
see.
hate Igor. I don't know why. I just hate him.
The Jonathan Quick thing, it feels like the Fleury thing from a couple of years ago all over again, where literally he got traded as the game was going on, rode back on the team plane that night, and then Columbus told him, don't even bother to report to Columbus. We're trading you again.
Nice.
There was a chance that Jonathan Quick never played another NHL game, depending on who he got traded to, like if it was like the Phoenix or whatever.
Yeah.
Now that he's in Vegas, he has a chance to possibly match up with the Kings in the first round. And also, Vegas is kind of like the wagon in the West this year. So, like, he could win another cup. I would imagine he goes to Vegas, especially because Vegas just dealt their backup goalie. So I would imagine that they wouldn't have done that if they didn't think he was coming. Does that move the needle for Vegas? No, but maybe.
He's pretty fast.
He's quick, some say.
Yeah.
Jonathan Quick was famous for being hot. getting on hot streaks and being able to just dominate the playoffs. Now, they have a rookie goaltender, Logan Thomas. Is that it? Thompson. Logan
That's
Thompson.
the tight end for the Washington Commanders.
Thank you. Logan Thompson.
We got actors. We got football players.
We got
Everything under the sun. Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
is having a Calder-worthy season. I wouldn't go as far as Vezina, but he's been good for them.
Okay.
The good news is that he now has a mentor who has won 2 Stanley Cups and a Conn Smythe and knows what it takes and can kind of help him through those things. Plus, if he gets hurt, you're rolling the dice on a one last ride from Jay Quick. There's a bunch of other goalies that I would take Jonathan Quick over a bunch of different goalies. Is what I'm trying to say. So, even at his age.
You guys remember Marc-Andre Fleury?
Yeah, he's in Minnesota.
Blood Bomb in the chat with his religious name David. He said, "Who's the pretty girl?" That would be Josh Elseth.
That's me, I guess.
See the flow. The flow is all you need to know.
Yeah.
All right, bars, Greg. All right. What else do we got for Hockey Talkie? Anything else you guys want to cover today? I think we hit some of the big names that moved. We know Boston's the greatest team that's ever been. It sucks. I hate them.
I would just like to point out that Connor McDavid is having maybe the greatest season of the modern era. He's on pace to eclipse 65 goals. Could probably touch 70 if he really goes on a run, which he's currently on. If he scores 2 goals in his next game, he will tie the NHL record for most consecutive 2-goal or more games. I mean, the guy is he is doing incredible things that we've never seen, and it sucks he's going to get bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Does any of that matter?
No.
I don't mean to be a jagoff. At the game, I said to Sam, my buddy, that Sid is the best hockey player I'll ever see. And he said, Connor McDavid. And I was like, no, Sid's better than Connor McDavid because he wins. Like, I get it. I understand how great Connor is. I called him a fraud like 4 years ago at this point because he ain't going to win
confirm.
shit.
Can't confirm.
Win shit. He's just on a bad team. They ain't going to win shit.
Yeah.
So does any of that matter? Like, it does, but doesn't. It's like
matter.
Joker winning back-to-back MVPs in the NBA.
It would matter because otherwise they would miss the playoffs.
Fair. That's a very good point.
So he's at least going to drag the Oilers kicking and screaming into the playoffs, and then maybe by the grace of God they get past the first round. But they're worse than they were last year or 2 years ago.
Did
when
they
went on
lose
that
to the
little
Avalanche?
run. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I would like to point out that
Avalanche. You're right.
I would just like to point out that based on the number of teams that have made moves and the number of teams that you see on Cap Friendly that have exceeded the maximum cap space that has already come up, it's amazing how many teams have made moves and believe they still are in it with this much time left in this season.
Well,
that also speaks volumes to the playoff format, and it also just kind of speaks volumes to the fact that after in the East, after Boston, it's kind of a gauntlet, I'd argue, to try to figure out who's going to get there. Like, definitely each team has their top guys, but it's such a crapshoot. And then the West is a mess to try to figure out who's going to be the best team coming out of it in the end. That's going to be fun to figure out. But right now, the only surefire thing is Boston, and that's it. Everyone else is just mishmash together at this point.
Greg is the best person on this show. Yeah, we all know.
Nope, it's you, Blood Bomb. Boop.
Okay, so here's the ish, right? This year's trade deadline was really interesting because there were more marquee players that were moved than ever. It really did mirror the NBA in that sense, where we had Patrick Kane, Ryan O'Reilly, Tarasenko, Quick.
Mm-hmm.
These are household names for NHL at least that were all getting moved. That was a big deal. But there were also a lot of players that were being traded from teams that are attempting to tank that have term. So the
Arizona
Chikrin's, basically. Timo Meyer isn't that situation, but Barbashev is. Jake McCabe is. I mean, there were a lot of pieces that Orlov isn't, but there were a lot of pieces. Oh, Janot, Nina Ryder both have term.
It's pronounced Gino.
Thank you. So, like,
The G
there
is
were a
silent.
lot of guys moved that had term left on their contract, which made everyone buyers, not necessarily just playoff teams. These weren't rentals, a lot of the guys that got moved. Some of them are, but a lot of them were moved with the intention of making a team better. That's why you saw an Ottawa make a move. That's why you saw some other teams kind of get in the mix that made, like the Blues, right, were really active, even though they're kind of like sellers, but they really weren't. And the things they got back for they weren't draft picks, they were actual players and prospects because they're trying to reload as quickly as possible. It was a really interesting deadline. We also had a great quote from the Tampa Bay general manager that basically said, if you're not if you're trading anything other than a top 15 pick, you're trading air. That it doesn't matter.
I agree with that because I don't think. Hear me out. I
think
personally believe in all sports except the NFL. The only picks that really matter are top 10 picks. In the NBA, you can find Joker drafted during a Subway commercial.
Sure.
But there are so many players drafted in the first round of the NBA that don't even make it to the league. There are so many players in baseball that just genuinely don't make it to the league because of the process there. Hockey, you can draft a guy everywhere. They don't make it to the league. The NFL, in my opinion, is the only one that matters from start to finish in terms of actual roster construction. All the other drafts, I mean, maybe MLS. I don't know the super draft too much anymore. Yeah, hockey for me, if you're not a top 10 pick, it's super murky.
Right.
Deke, I'm glad you brought this up because you are notorious for repeating the Brian Windhorst quote a lot that talks about like their, draft picks are like cars. As soon as they get off the lot, they're nothing, You
got to maintain them and you got to take them to the shop and you got to use it.
Yes. And I would like to challenge you on this case. First off, with the NFL, yes, that logic does kind of abide to it. But I would also argue that once those picks are made, if that pick is used on something that a team didn't necessarily need or was wanting, then, the value kind of dissipates with it. But what I will challenge you on in this case, NFL and NBA, I can kind of agree a little bit about draft picks not necessarily
NHL and NBA? You said NFL and NBA. I just want to make sure I'm getting the leagues here. You're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
NFL and NBA, I can make the case, especially in the sport where as soon as they are drafted, they're either competing for roster spots or they are kind of put on a bench or stashed overseas in that case. With the NBA.
Okay.
With MLB and NHL, I challenge you a little bit on in that case. And I bring it especially with the NHL.
Say it with your chest.
One of the things that has bugged me so much about the Pens for the longest time when Jim Rutherford kept getting rid of all of our first round draft picks to try to go for it every single year. When you have guys that are, especially in a hard cap league, that are making so much money and are going to be put directly towards your cap. And Josh has said this before. One of the things that helps prolong a build or prolong a steady team is younger talent on cheap and controllable contracts.
True.
That's what you get with guys that are drafted in these rounds. Do a lot of them make it? No, because with the NHL, it's set up in a way where guys can, if you're not a top 15 pick, you're either going to play another year or two in juniors or you're going to go to college for X number of years. But the point is that you're not going to get that talent into your system on controllable and cheap contracts unless you draft them and then you see what you get from them. That's always been something that I think the Pens have kind of missed the boat on a little bit. That's why they always had to keep going to the college free agent and, overage guy route to be able to get talent into their system in that case. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
But for the most part, though, if you don't have that cheap controllable income or cheap controllable assets to be able to maintain a steady team for the longest time, that's where you're kind of screwing yourself a little bit to a degree. So that's why I push back a little bit on the notions that draft picks don't necessarily mean as much as they should.
Would you like a cool stat? Someone at The Athletic, and I can't remember who, analyzed the 2016 NHL Trade Deadline.
It was Corey Proman, right?
Yep, it was. So you read this, and none of the draft picks ended up in the NHL that were traded.
The one that I did read recently was 2018.
I think that was it. It was
and
Keandre Miller.
Keandre Miller, yeah. That was the
same article.
The Pen pick. Yeah, same one.
But that's the other nature of that. Yeah, it's
one.
Those players, so hockey, baseball especially, they send players.
Yeah.
NBA is a little more controlled with shorter benches, but during the trade deadline, you get these 7-team trades that send random people to 3 different teams and stuff. Hockey seems like they're shifting all the time. Baseball is shifting all the time, it feels like. The NFL is very much more buttoned up in terms of that. They don't just move guys. I think the cash consideration is a big thing, too, in those sports.
Mm-hmm.
You can genuinely get rid of – the Pirates do it all the time.
Yep.
We got rid of this guy, and now we're going to open another concession stand. Look at that. We got a washing machine. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's more what I mean. Plus, I will say this too. I think, and I don't know if this, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. The talent pool for football, in my opinion, is massively deeper due to the monopoly of college football. Whereas baseball's talent pool are 9 times out of 10 already drafted guys in the minors. Similar, in my opinion, to hockey, where it's already guys that have come up through a system of sorts. And I don't know, maybe that's convoluted in terms of what we're considering here. But for me, with football having hundreds of universities and colleges and so many guys, it is the smallest margin to make it despite having the largest roster. Those picks need to hit on a much larger scale. Whereas in the NHL, you can go 15 years without hitting on a pick and still win a Stanley Cup.
I wouldn't say that. Unless the Rangers do it this year. Because that's,
But
I mean, that's really like, if you look at the Rangers top 6, they didn't draft any of those fucking guys. The only person they drafted is their fucking goalie and 2 players on their third line.
Yep.
And Adam Fox.
Adam Fox, they traded from Carolina.
Oh, thank you. You're right. You're fucking right, Greg. Because he wasn't going to sign with Carolina and whoever was before that. He was, I don't know, San Jose or Anaheim or something. But, like, this is, I mean, like, NHL, I think, too, like, yeah, I think you got to draft them. I would say baseball, you don't have to draft them. You can buy them.
Here's my question for hockey. Is there any type of non-draftable way to the NHL?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So,
is it only foreign?
No, Greg.
Okay.
No, so and Corey Proman actually just put an article about the guys that are like the top college free agents and CHL and European free agents and all that. So you know how, especially like, and I think we've talked about this before, how like if you're drafted, you have, depending on what country your nationality is or where you play in, you have X number of years of rights for them. So like with Canada juniors, it's 2 years. Europe is 3 years. College is 4 years.
Why?
I don't know.
That seems discriminatory.
I think it's also because with juniors in Europe, you're being paid. In the NCAA, you're not.
Also in Europe, you can start playing at 16 pro.
That's because they're man at 15.
Right, but that's also like, that's where like that kind of stuff matters, right? Like you could draft a guy at 18 who still has 2 years of professional contract left. So like that's like, okay, so remember when we got Malkin and he just showed up magically? Like he wasn't supposed to be here, and like he just poof appeared in America. Yeah. That's because he was still was under contract with McGee. Greg, say it.
I don't even remember the name of it.
Magita Dorsch or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Magnita Gorsh. That's it.
Okay.
He was still under contract with them. So when he showed up, like he wasn't supposed to fucking be here. That's also Kapril Kaprizov, who's Minnesota's big stud.
That sounds like a fake name.
Right.
Kirill Kaprizov. It's a
killer
dirty
caprese
name,
salad. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But when Minnesota drafted him, they knew they weren't getting him for 3 years because he was under contract in the KHL. Same thing would go with like Sweden or whatever. And then college is basically you can stay for 4 years and then not have to go to the team that drafted you, which is what Adam Fox and Jimmy Vesey did.
Which, okay, you see that in sports. I mean, baseball.
Yeah.
If you get drafted, you can choose to go back to college, spend your 2 years,
right? Or like with Canada and the NCAA, what's cool is like if you don't get drafted at your like age 18 or age 19 year, you can still play in juniors, and then you're considered a free agent after that first year. Because like there's definitely times where guys develop and they're just missed, and it happens. It's not It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. Or like
Yeah.
NCAA, like if you go to college and like a couple years later and stuff, you start putting up numbers or you get bigger and all of a sudden you're a free agent because you're not tied to anyone. Like you can decide if you want to go pro, then teams can come to you and try to negotiate a deal with you. You're limited to what you can make. It's an entry-level deal. It's only 3 years, but at the same time, like there is ways to get to the NHL if you're not drafted and stuff, which is still cool.
Do you remember
Yeah.
the Boston goalie Tim Thomas?
Yeah, he was a god.
For 2 years.
Yep.
It was the greatest peak in the NHL history. But he played in every fucking league. He was in juniors, he was in college, he played in Europe, and then somehow, through the grace of God, made it to the AHL. No, I'm sorry, the ECHL, then the AHL, then the NHL, and then became Tim Thomas for exactly 2 years, and then fucking fell off a cliff. But,
Was it Rask after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuukka Rask.
Yeah,
was after that,
they freaking transitioned seamlessly.
Right, and then they went from Rask to fucking Linus Olmark and Jeremy Swayman because I fucking hate the Boston.
If your name's Limus, you suck.
You
That
wanna
was
get
a
out of
long
hockey?
hockey talkie.
I
I think
loved
we should
it.
spend the
Thank
next 20 minutes. No, it was good. It was very good. Let's spend the next 20 minutes for the commercial break talking about this pitch clock situation. Because I could not stand going an hour talking about it in the next segment. I will kill myself if I have to talk about hockey and baseball for more than 1 hour.
Before Josh goes on his diatribe about it, let me at least explain the rule.
I have
Okay.
an idea too. I have stuff
I know,
to say.
I know,
I
but
got
Josh was the one.
thoughts, Greg.
Josh was the one that got very heated about it, so let me at least like provide background. So
Because the
passionate.
Cubs suck.
this has been a rule that has been tested in the minors for 2 years now. So I knew it was coming eventually. So I have an idea. So the idea is during a plate appearance, a pitcher has 15 seconds to throw a pitch from the time that he is on the mound to the time the batter's in the box. The batter has to be in the box by the 8-second mark of the pitch clock, or else it's considered a strike on the batter. If the pitch is not thrown in that 15-second mark, it's a ball. If a runner is on base, it's a 20-second clock. Same rule apply for the hitter. He has 8 seconds, and same thing with that. If it runs out, it's a ball.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the basic genesis of it. Now, I love this rule. I absolutely love this rule because on average in the minor leagues, for the time that they have been testing this out, it has cut down a half hour of a game. And it is not cutting down on actual play time. The entire purpose of this rule was simply for the fact of getting guys to stop dicking around and like taking the bat off and like adjusting their gloves and readjusting it, or pitchers like, getting like the beanbag and like getting like chalk on them, or like touching their hat and adjusting their belt and stuff, like literally just wasting time instead of actually doing the game. There was a great side-by-side comparison on Pitching Ninja, which is a Twitter account that's run. They showed a side-by-side of a guy going through a whole inning and the same guy last year throwing only one pitch in the exact same time frame.
Yeah. Oh, well, Pirates
That's
guy
how
just got struck
fast.
out in what, 20 seconds?
20 seconds. 20
Yeah, was it
seconds,
20?
yes. Yeah, that's all we're asking for. There's nothing about the game that's being like changed or anything like that. It's literally just speed the fucking game up instead of doing all this dicking around stuff that is just wasting time the entire way. So
all that shit, and
I
the
love it.
managers still have to wear baseball pants.
Yep. Because they're part of the team, baby.
All right, Josh, you go.
God.
I do want to pull up the side by side because it is damning.
Yep.
While I talk here for a second, so where the controversy or where this all kind of became a problem was a spring training game was decided by the pitch clock.
Yeah.
Where it was the bottom of the ninth, and a base is loaded, the whole 9 yards, right, full count, and the pitch clock happens. And the batter wasn't ready within the 8 seconds, and the game was ended, and the pitcher was awarded a strike because the batter wasn't ready in time.
Love it.
Are you gonna love it in October? Are you
Yeah.
gonna love it when it decides a fucking game, let alone maybe a World fucking Series?
It didn't decide the game. That player not following the rules did.
It's a great take. That's a great
And
take.
also,
Everybody has the same rule book, Josh. Everyone has the same handbook. He's not the only. You're telling me he's the one guy that we should be like, oh, it's okay, buddy.
I
No,
just
read the rules.
I think about what makes baseball great in October, and it is that drama. It's that sitting with every single pitch, knowing that the game could turn, and to have and this is a tale of woe of a hockey fan more than anything, because hockey has had so many fucking crucial things decided by either A, not calling a rule that they invented, or B, by calling it. Famously, Brett Hall kicked the puck in against Dominic Hasek, and the Dallas Stars won a fucking championship that they probably didn't deserve.
Yes.
In overtime in a
fair.
Game 7, right? And I understand that was like, that's only happened once, but there's also been the Penguins in the 2017 Cup run against Nashville.
Threw the bottle on the ice.
No, they thought that Nashville thought that they were up 1-0 in that game, but it got called back on an offsides call that now wouldn't have been offsides. Like, I mean, it's just there's 1,000 of these that have happened in hockey, and to see it immediately happen in baseball in like the moment that you dream about as a kid, handing out fucking strikes for no effort is not gonna fucking work out well. Unless you think the batters can correct. If you think that the batters can get their shit together, awesome.
Oh, I believe they can. Like
They
Pete
have
Alonso.
to.
Pete Alonso went on like record and said like after his first at bat he hated it, but then his second at bat in spring training he hit a home run. He just got used to it right away. It's an adjustment period, and that's kind of why that they were doing it in the minor leagues to start, because guys who are like going up and like are now in the majors, they're used to it. They're aware of it and stuff. And again, Josh, I understand like you thought it was like bad optics for it to happen.
Terrible.
But my point is it's spring training. Like they have to get their shit down at some point. Like it's not like if they were doing this rule at the very beginning of the regular season and this happened, then I might have had like a problem with it, because you could have like, you didn't test it out. You didn't get guys used to it and stuff. So
Two things.
at least
Go ahead.
At least it
Keep
happened in
keep
spring
going.
training.
Two things. One, if we introduced the Bach this year, Josh, would you be this pissed off?
Ooh. I don't really understand the Bach rule entirely.
The Bach is he's in his motion, and then he
Like-
stops his motion to throw to a plate, and because he stopped his motion, you go
I
to
feel
first.
like sometimes I see Bachs and I'm like, that's a Bach, and then they don't call it, so like, who knows?
To this day, if you ask Gil about a balk, he will give you a dirty look because he got called for them all the time in high school.
Oh, that's
But
Drove him
my
nuts.
my point
Drove
for
him
that is
nuts.
like that can and has decided games.
true.
That is much more uncommon than this situation. But I think our take there would be like, well, that's the dumbest thing ever. And then you get used to it. My other side of it, though,
Okay.
you will not get, this is the end of opportunities like Cueto.
Yes. True.
Yeah,
That's
True.
the side of it where I err with Josh, where to me, the playoffs, October, you won't get this moment where it's like hitting a foul shot to me, Greg, in a big moment in the NBA Finals. It's just you just doing it. With the
Yep.
pitching, it's kind of like, all right, now I throw this pitch. Now it's like, all right, don't have time to even think about it, do it. I think it benefits some pitchers a lot more than we're predicting.
Yes.
But
Oh,
I
I
do
agree.
think we
Completely
do not
agree.
see another moment like Cueto, except for maybe the flip of it, where a pitcher's trying to do so much he drops the ball. But that's not the crowd impact. That's
Or
the
a
game.
batter's afraid to get in the box because of the crowd.
Yep.
That
Now,
could
do
be.
we see? No, here's something. Do we see the chance of a batter doing that strategically so someone can try to steal? Like, there's elements that I'm interested to
question.
see, because if I stand out there and the pitcher's like looking and a guy takes off
Yup.
and then I step in, like, there's ways that I'm curious how it breaks down, but these are such outliers.
But also, baseball, they'll fucking cheat if they can. And that'll be...
that's true. No,
Somebody's
that's
gonna-
absolutely
The
true.
Astros are going to expose that rule in 30 seconds. Like, they're going to be the ones,
Yeah. I mean, I'm personally just excited for the fact that, like, I feel like anyone who did, like, complain or, like, had, like, visceral takes about it, not so much your take, Josh, because I get what you were saying in that case,
Yeah.
but I feel like people who hated it for the sake of hating it are just, like, the old baseball heads that, like, just like it because of the fact they want to keep things traditional, which I know is Deke's favorite phrasing for it, because it's tradition with baseball.
Why
Like,
do the
that's
managers have to wear those pants?
it's because they want to be part
It's
matters. That's all that
stupid.
matters.
They
in that
all
case.
wear hoodies now with those pants, and it looks terrible.
Good. Dude,
Looks
I
terrible.
honestly think we would like Clint Hurdle a lot more if we didn't wheel him out every week in a fucking baseball uniform.
Clint Hurdle's not a Pirate anymore, buddy.
No,
Yeah.
that's my point, though. We
Okay.
all hated him. Everyone hated him. And I would
Yeah.
have liked him a lot more if I didn't have to watch him look uncomfortable. Those buttons put in more work than he did.
That's true.
It's all the bubble gum that maybe he was accidentally swallowing or something. I don't know.
Gregory,
Hmm.
how confident are you that this rule won't take effect or won't affect a game in October?
I'm confident because most of the teams that are going to be in October should be well prepared enough because they had gotten to October in the first place. And also, I trust the fact that Theo Epstein made a rule that actually would be smart enough for most baseball players to be able to do.
Are you
Alex
ready?
Murdoch got
idea.
charged with murder. Just a heads up, guys.
What?
What?
Alex Murdoch, the guy from the Alex Murdoch Netflix show, the governor guy in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like super powerful. He killed his wife and his son.
Oh, this is okay. The dude that
Murdoch
like
files.
the dude that said that like he didn't do it, but changed his like alibi or something like on the stand. or
Yeah, he
something,
looks like a serial killer. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Sorry,
yeah.
go
Yeah.
ahead. Stickball.
Greg, I would like to
Yo.
make a bet with you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm all for it.
I would like to do a bobblehead bet. Are you cool with that?
Good luck getting your fucking bobblehead, Greg or Josh, because he hasn't even picked our bet yet.
True.
True. All right. What's the bobblehead bet?
My bobblehead bet is that the pitch count rule, or clock rather, negatively affects a baseball game in the playoffs.
Define negatively. So like
It
Because here's
takes
the thing.
effect where either a ball or a strike is awarded in a playoff game.
Damn it, that's hard because like I've been watching spring training and like there's been plenty of times that people have had it happen so far. Like I just think
I think it can take it. It can make an impact without even being called. So that's an interesting.
Oh, true, Derek.
You know what I mean?
That
But
is
I
true.
think, Josh, the angle here is, does it get called in a
Yes.
playoff series?
That's
so I
my
think I like
question.
that a lot more. I like that a
I
lot
think
more.
it,
That's
I,
fair.
I think it will get called. Like it's gonna get called probably in every game at some point. I'd
In a
imagine.
playoff series?
He's gonna
Yeah.
come. No, Josh.
Wait,
he's
wait.
gonna come back. He's gonna
Wait,
come
wait,
back
wait.
with some other type of bet that makes no sense. That
No.
involves the pitch. That's just different. Because
No.
Drake May is not gonna get around. We should do the Heisman.
No, Josh, are you asking that the pitch clock goes into effect like at any point? So like it's a 1-1 count and the batter forgets to come into a box and it's a strike, so it's 1-2. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Because every pitch matters in October.
That I can't make that bet because I know it's gonna happen. Like
So
I
then
know it
that's-
will.
Then that's my point. That's
it's-
where this is gonna suck.
I don't think it's gonna suck because
It's
here's the
gonna
thing.
suck.
No, it's not. Because here's the thing. To me, a pitcher and a batter should be able to know by that time at that point to not do it. In the crucial moments,
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen. But I think it's going to be a common sense
Once
thing
they
that we're
took
going to see.
steroids
These.
away, baseball sucked.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Like we're going to probably average these like 2 times a game all season. I bet.
2 times a fucking game?
Dude, it's literally like a few seconds that it happens, and then the game continues to go
Right.
on, and then that's all. I'm
Wait
just
till
saying.
Josh finds out about the lay of games in football.
Ugh.
He's gonna blow his shit.
Yeah, because they called
Yeah.
those so well in the
They
fucking
get
playoffs.
40 seconds.
Fucking the Dolphins
Yeah.
were fucking... Dolphins had 70 seconds some snaps. They just
Yep.
didn't
Yeah.
fucking call it.
No, but what I mean is like I'm literally watching a random Nationals and Yankees game today on spring training, and a dude forgot to throw the ball in time, so he got called for a ball. Like
This
it's
is gonna.
But
Like,
to your
it's
point,
just
Greg,
gonna
they
happen.
should be ready by
So
October,
bad.
so make the bet. To your point, Greg, right now is the time to air it out. And if you made it to October, you shouldn't fall duty to the bet. So, I mean,
no,
unless you're contradicting yourself, take
He
the
is.
bet.
I'm not contradicting myself. I'm saying that it's not going to happen. That it's going to happen with a bases loaded full count to call a game, though. Like a
You
pitch
said
clock
they
violation.
should be ready by October because they made it to October.
They should be ready for a pitch clock violation, not to decide a game, though. That's the part that I'm talking
I don't
about.
think
It's
that's how
going
that
to
works.
happen.
You are Mel Kiper.
It's going to
when Mel
happen.
Kiper said that he will like Bryce Young as the first quarterback if he hits 195 pounds. Like, okay. Like, okay, Greg. It's okay, Greg.
That's such an exact way to happen.
It is literally like that's what you're saying, though, guys. It's not going to happen because they'll be ready, but it will happen because it just is going to happen. I'm not going to drink this beer, but the beer's just there, so
It's going to empty itself somehow.
Literally. Yeah.
attaboy, Greg. Crush that alcoholic beverage.
Thank you. Yeah. My 0.09% alcoholic beverage.
Greg
It
doesn't
was
want to
like-
make the
I'm gonna look it
bobblehead
up.
bet.
I'm going to look it up. How many
All right.
non-alcoholic beers? So the thing was, a fun fact on this, Greg, you wouldn't even be able to consume, your body wouldn't be able to take the carbonation of that many non-alcoholic beers to even get a buzz.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
God
Do you
bless
just
science,
get
I
like
guess.
super fucked up after 40 days? Like the first beer you have, are you just like trashed?
You saw him at the beer fest. He was on the floor with a tambourine, wasn't he?
No,
No,
that
dog.
was Jeremiah. Oh, the dog. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Jeremiah
dog.
was on the floor with a tambourine. That I'm still not sure where the tambourine came from.
I think it was the band had just someone randomly playing a
Was that-
tambourine, I guess. Yeah, that's how it happened. And I'm pretty sure Sue was the one that was playing it first, and then Jeremiah took it.
One would have to consume 40 cans of non-alcoholic beer to consume the amount of alcohol it takes to get drunk.
Oof.
That doesn't seem like enough.
Seems
I feel like
doable.
I've polished off a 30 rack. I don't think that's a thing.
This is case race, baby.
Well, wait a second. Think about it. So, like, I assume most non-alcoholic beers are like 0.5% alcohol. So, like, 0.5 times 30 is 15%. So,
So one of the beers you think is the best,
the 0.5%.
like a
one?
porter. Like you love a 15% double
Yes, I
aged
do.
Jameson barrel porter.
You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. I do. God bless
Uh,
America.
He deserved.
Yes.
Oh, Blood Bomb said, "I love that dude." Speaking about Clint Hurdle, he said he deserved to wear that uniform. Let the record show. I'm not saying they didn't earn the stripes. I'm just saying it's a little weird to make somebody's grandpa wear the same uniform as Aaron Judge.
True. True.
Yeah. Now, Aaron Judge did deserve the stripes.
Bro,
That's
imagine
fair.
if they made Steve Kerr wear his Jordan jersey out there with the you know what I mean? Like it's just like I just don't want to see it. Like let him wear something different.
Would you make them wear a suit and tie in the dugout? Just out of curiosity.
No. I genuinely, for me, they should be able to wear. It's something on the lines of a Premier League manager.
Hoodie and a
Terhagen wears
Lulu's.
suit. Yeah,
Hoodie
Like-
and Lulu's.
Jorgen Klinsmann to me makes the. No, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp. Thank
Oh.
you. I don't know what I'm doing today. I was like, no.
Jurgen
that's not-
Klinsmann is a human. Yes. That's a
No,
real person.
I know. Klopp, where is
Yes.
here's a pair of slacks and an athletic jacket and a scarf. Maybe a hat. It's a hat day.
Yeah.
Mm.
He is the perfect outfit. Pep wears nice stuff.
Yep.
No, but you don't gotta wear a full
Good
suit.
sweater.
Yeah.
Pep's a big
Nice
sweater
sweater.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Okay,
me,
but-
I don't know. Go ahead, Greg.
So what's the tipping point then? Like, are we talking like we can get to like Belichick, like wearing a fucking hoodie with
That's
that's like
Dusty
cut off
Baker
or something, or like
100%. Dusty Baker is wearing fucking his stained ass gray sweatpants with a hole in the crotch every
Would you
Dusty
like to
Baker's-
see,
Dusty Baker's the only manager that still wears batting gloves when he manages too. Let's not forget that.
would you like to see George Carl's 85-year-old ass in an NBA uniform, Greg?
Not in particular, no.
Okay. So we agree. It's weird. Personally,
weird,
for
fine.
me, I think hockey coaches should have to wear skates. And they don't ever get to touch the ice. They just walk back and forth on the bench with skates on.
Now see, here's the thing. Hockey coaches have to like be dressed up in like suit and tie and
Yes,
stuff
they do.
like that. So that part I find fascinating, but like if you see it on an NFL coach, all of a sudden it's just like, what the fuck?
Also,
know?
it's fucking
Well, to be fair,
cold.
they're going down a whole sideline.
Yeah.
You ain't
Okay.
running a whole sideline. Yeah, because soccer's got a box.
Yeah, but
Hockey's
it's
got a little
cold on
box.
the ice.
They're not on the ice. They're in the box, Josh. Hence the skates being funny.
Oh, like the Winter Classic games where like we're wearing like the full like Letterman jacket and like nice pants.
I
and
think
stuff.
for
That's
hockey,
dope.
one time a game for a minute, the coach can go skate and you get a 6-man.
Ooh, Rod Brindamore hopping over the fucking boards and scoring a goal in the playoffs to lift Carolina in a game 7. Sign
I
me
think
up.
You
Sign
get
me up.
once a game for a minute. And the other thing is if both coaches go out at the same time, they have to fight.
Can this extend to executives in any way? Because if that's the case, I would like to throw Mario as an opportunity in that sense.
He would have
Just
to be
saying.
the first player, manager, executive coach.
Oh my
He
god!
can no.
I'm just
Yeah,
trying
if
to
both
imagine
coaches-
Bruce
if both
Boudreaux
coaches
getting
go
on the
out-
ice right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
both coaches
he-
go out at the same time. They have to fight.
He could be the Jackie Moon of the NHL. Nothing wrong with that.
Bruce
could say.
Boudreaux's the Jackie Moon of the NHL.
No,
No,
I'm saying
100%.
Mario was.
No.
Francona doesn't wear the jersey. He only wears the pants. I guess he has some muscle thing where he can't wear tight clothes. It's called a giant dick.
Terry Francona
We're going to
sucks.
take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back at the second half of the show with some NFL draft, some Premier League talk, and a fun game.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Vault, the weekly show from Thoughts from the Bench that takes a look back at some of the best and worst sports jerseys of all time.
So, I looked up what a Canuck was. Ben, you're gonna shit yourself. What a fucking silly country.
Here comes
Wow.
the Crimson Chin.
No. You sound like the John Candy in
Yeah,
a
that's-
fucking snapshot.
That's Uncle Buck.
I have an irrational fear of alligators and crocodiles. I hate them. I
Wait,
saw.
what? Of like, okay, this school who looks like they're in High School Musical just came and balled out. So yeah, they're not drinking Gatorade or water on the sidelines. They just got bottles of Barbicide and they're just fucking tanking them down, dude. Like that guy who's nodding his head. Okay, where's the keg at? You know, like that type of guy.
Yeah.
Like
He's a glue guy. He's a glue guy.
Okay, he's a glue guy.
I want to show off the human goose that is Mike Glennon.
Oh my god, he is a goose.
They're like mom jeans with the elastic on top. Like, I don't.
I'm okay. I'm okay. He's a man of the people. He's in with the students at games and sporting events. He's posing with the frat boys. He's getting pumped up, literally
Dude,
and
no.
metaphorically speaking, for every event. He is Dartmouth.
What?
That was really funny.
Football's the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell.
JJ Watt,
the
bring it
Golgi
on over,
apparatus.
pal. Bring it on over. Golgi apparatus, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum. I'm just naming off science shit now.
What is up,
Fucked it up,
guys?
man.
Welcome back
Great
to the
job.
Vault,
That's
the weekly show
All right,
from
ready?
Thoughts
Here
from
we
the
go.
Bench that takes a look.
Okay. NFL Combine, the Underwear Olympics. Gregory,
Get the-
how are the Underwear Olympics going?
Josh, I got an early look at the Underwear Olympics today because it started
Did
around.
they let you in the back door, you creep?
Yes, something like that. Started around while I was working, and I gotta say I'm thrilled because yet once again, another quote unquote undersized Pitt defensive lineman blew up the combine and is more than likely going to get drafted pretty high. And I'm thrilled for it because as a season ticket holder, I watched the kid grow up before my eyes and dominate fools at the defensive line. So
Fun fact, Greg
I'm
never
quite
mentioned his name until
Kalijah Cansey.
today on air first.
No.
And to me, he didn't name him until about a month and a half ago. So
Yeah, I told you
I just
guys
wanna-
about Garrett Crawl years ago.
who the fuck is Garrett Crawl?
Although the one that I did see
My
before we started recording, I saw
Is that the
dude
guy I
from
met? Not Matt, but who did I meet?
No, you met Frank Crum. He's
Frank Crum
O-line.
is my favorite player ever in NFL
O-line,
history.
baby. Next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
He's a thick boy, Greg. These calves, them hindquarters. I
How
watched
many
him leave
Cs?
the bar.
At least 4. I mean, Frank's a big boy.
All right, I like it.
So not too much to talk about in the Underwear Olympics aside from the 40 today, right, Greg? I mean, you saw the lateral stuff, but did we see the bench for DTs?
Not yet.
I think they not yet, no. But did you see the dude from Northwestern ran like 4.58?
For a
The lo-
DT. Whew.
Yeah. Scary.
My favorite day of the
Scary.
combine is DT sprints because it reminds me how fucked I am in a zombie apocalypse.
Isn't it interesting how that, like,
Yeah, it
think
is, Ping.
about,
What's
like,
up, buddy?
the Dwight Freeney world, right? He was kind of the first fast, small DT that was like, oh yeah, that like this is the new, and now where we are, where they weigh $195 and they just fucking come off the line so fast you can't do shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Donald got Quentin Nelson drafted in the top 5. Like that exchange of like, we have a fast outside guy, so we emphasize tackles. So let's bring in a fast inside guy. So now we need inside guards. So let's get a faster outside guy. And let's see.
It's just a rotating door, basically.
Dude, it's crazy. The Underwear Olympics blood bomb is the NFL Combine. They make their players just wear basically athletic shorts, which are like tight Spanx and athletic shirts, and just run. So everyone calls it the Underwear Olympics.
Yeah. Which, by the way, fuck DeMaurice Smith for wanting to get rid of it. I love the Combine. Screw him. Just saying.
Yeah, he sucks. So I did want to discuss with you guys people that are there that we're excited about and people that were not invited.
Yeah, I got one.
For which one?
That weren't invited.
Who from Wyoming do you want to talk about?
Arizona State.
He transferred last year? Or when did he transfer?
Yeah, his grad year.
Okay. I love it.
But this is a guy who, Xavier Valade, who was.
Is it the corner?
No, he's a running back.
I thought you said there was who was the corner that transferred from Wyoming and went somewhere? Yes, thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. But X was left off. Despite the fact that he was like top 10 this year in carries and yards. He got left out of the combine, probably because he's old.
How old? Like, is he a grad transfer? Like 23, 24?
Greg, he might be like 25, 26.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I'm confirming this really quick, but a linebacker just ran a 4.39.
That's stupid.
Owen Papoy out of Auburn.
I've been seeing him as like 3rd round, like mocks and stuff like that. Well, he just shot up now. So that's interesting. It's amazing, like just from running a 40, like how much that affects your stock tremendously.
Oh, I know. And you'll never run the 40. People are like, he's game fast.
Yeah. No, I find it fascinating sometimes how like some guys like don't run the 40 at the combine, when in actuality, like I think for some positions like corner, if you're projected as like round 2, round 3, you need to run the 40. Like you absolutely need to, because you can get your stock can just bump up tremendously. Agreed. If you're a day 1 guy, like if you were Stingley or Sauce last year, you wouldn't have had to run the 40. I didn't think you would, because everyone just knew just on tape how good you were.
Yeah, and if you play faster, a lot of people, will sit out of the 40 because the 40 time being slow doesn't necessarily equate to game speed, but it does for some people. So
Greg, he's at least 23 at this point.
Okay, so yeah, he'll probably get like the UDFA route, I'm guessing.
So it was Valade, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Running back is undervalued position in today's NFL, blah, 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 screw that. In 5 seasons of college football, 4 with Wyoming in the super senior season, when there was going to say Valade topped 5,000 yards from scrimmage and 39 touchdowns. He went to the East Shrine Bowl, made noise with his decisive one-cut style, consistently catching the ball.
And he had 3,000-yard seasons.
Yeah, I always worry about guys like him in terms of
the offense running back they were running in.
Well, no, running back usage.
He has miles on him.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that have miles on them are going to be in a situation. Now, I will say this for him, Josh. Being drafted later in the draft, more likely a good thing for certain players because you get taken by a team with better situation, possibly.
Yeah.
But I understand the sentiment out there. Greg, are there any big names that you were surprised did not get invited? I only have one name.
Honestly, no.
Which Wyoming player are you offended by, Greg? Eric Aboje?
I'm honestly not offended by anyone, honestly, because with the combine, it's kind of like, on the one hand, yes, there are definitely guys that I enjoy seeing, but for the most part, I prefer being more excited about guys that I have question marks about trying to prove something. Yeah. And for the most part, like I there's not really anyone that like has stuck out to me as like a snub. And for the record, I don't necessarily even abide by the idea that that going to the combine or not getting invited is like a bad thing. Because I mean, there's plenty of pro days around the country that guys can be seen at that
think
point.
It's a bad thing.
Really?
I think, if you don't get invited to the combine, you're not top 30 at your position.
Yeah, but there's still
I mean-
plenty of. I feel like there's plenty of guys that still get drafted even if they don't go to the combine, though.
100%, but you can't say it's not a knock.
It's a snub, sure, but like even if like, but if you do everything at your pro day anyway that you're going to do at the combine, you still have the same opportunities to like wow scouts or even like have your tapes shown to guys that maybe didn't see you at the combine.
I mean,
so it's not the end of the world.
That's like saying,
necessarily.
yeah, you were homeschooled, but you still have the opportunity to have the best personal skills as a kid that went to elementary school. Just talk to your parents.
I'm not
Thank God I
like
wasn't homeschooled.
I'm just like going through like all of the Wyoming guys that are in the NFL all got
my
invited to the combine.
So
And in fact, I would say the last player from my history that didn't get invited to the combine but had a good enough or made the NFL was Sean Price out of USF. And that was solely because at his pro day he ran a 4.4 as a D tackle. Like it was stupid.
I think the only guy that I looked at, and it's not really someone I care about, but if I looked at the Senior Bowl and the East-West Shrine, and Antonio Mafi out of UCLA, he's a center guard. He killed it at the Shrine Bowl. I was like, oh, cool. Like, I like interior linemen. They're thick boys.
Right.
He's a really good center. I think he could go later, but nobody, like you said, Greg, is snubbed. I don't think there's a single player who's like, I deserve to be there. Like in previous years, there's been a couple guys. So.
I mean that one's interesting too because I think this is kind of a weak guard class overall.
Yeah,
so you think that he would
yeah.
have gotten it in, yeah.
Whatever. So let's.
Oh,
discuss some
Titus
names.
didn't make it either.
Ping said, just talk to your parents. Clip it. Yeah. I mean, that is what Greg basically said. I'm sorry. No.
I don't need God help me if I would have like had to be homeschooled or something. I don't know how I would have survived in the world in that case.
You survived just fine, buddy.
Both the Wyoming running backs didn't get invited. Titus Swen didn't get invited either.
I like to learn about new college football players with you, Josh.
Titus Swen was a standout at the Senior Bowl. He had over a 100-yard game and 2 touchdowns, I think. So like, I mean, he put up numbers at the Senior Bowl. Greg, is Jared Wayne worth fucking damn?
Not drafted, no. I mean, honestly, like I watched him at Pitt, obviously, and he was very productive for us. But in terms of like 40 time, in terms of like some other stuff, like there's a lot of other receivers that are better than him. But I will say, weird receiver class. That's the one that I'm most curious about with this combine group, just because for the fact. Could you tell me, like, from just like off the top of your head, who the best receiver in this class is?
I would ask you to define best.
And I'll go that route. There's many different ways you can quantify it. Like you can look at size, you can look at route running, you can look at speed, you can look at all this stuff. But there's not like the receiver class.
Shit, wide receiver class.
It's a weird receiver class, and it's almost like every year there's always teams that need receivers. So it's kind of like it's struggling to figure out like who's going to be like the one that kind of gets like catches people's eye, which is why I'm most fascinated by that combine day, because the 40s on those guys are going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. So Quentin Johnson's comp is Chase Claypool right now, where he is massive and fast. But Greg, Steve Smith said it best. You can turn on one clip and say, this is an NFL starter wide receiver 1, and turn on another clip and say, what the fuck is he doing? And what I mean by that isn't just like bad plays. It's like, he's a big receiver. He doesn't high point the ball. He catches in his chest, which is weird for that big of a guy. But then you look at his athletic ability and his ability to run, but then you look at other tape and it looks like he is dragging a wagon behind him.
Yeah.
JSN, I do not like. I'll be fully transparent. I think his best introduction to the world was the Rose Bowl last year. I don't think he was good this past year. Jordan Addison, if he stayed healthy the whole year, would probably be the clear-cut number 1. His injury obviously went down a little bit, and you worry about production outside of, I mean, the Kenny Pickett year was stellar and great. He was okay. He was good with Caleb. I think he was really good with him. My guy, I think it's a lot of people's guy right now, Greg, because we don't have enough on him, except that we love him for staying at Boston College, is Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, to me, is probably the best route runner, him or Addison, in terms of pure route running ability right now. Flowers stayed at BC despite getting a fuck ton of image likeness deals, and that's cool. You then got Downs out of UNC, who I'm not high on, Greg. I'm turning into more of Downs was given the ability to play with Drake May than the vice versa. And I still stand on it that I like Quinn Ewers more than May right now, but I think that May did a lot for him and he's in that situation. So all in all, I don't think there's a single receiver I would be geeked for the Steelers taking in the first 2 rounds outside of maybe Zay if he falls to them at the second round pick.
Zay's been getting some love lately to be like a late first round guy, which would be interesting and stuff. He's a bit undersized, but he's very great route running. I agree. Has some sneaky good speed. I think a underrated receiver in this class, and it's because he was kind of hurt for a good bit of the year, but still has talent. That Keyshawn Boutte from LSU,
the guy that went train on his school's trainer with the coaches. Yeah.
Yep.
You would like him.
Because he's gonna get drafted, bud. Tyreek Hill got drafted. Just saying.
You love the Georgia tight end too, Greg? Who just
Washington?
got convicted of murder.
I like Brock Bowers more, but he's not till next year.
Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle from Georgia.
What'd I say?
Well,
tight end.
So you were talking about the giant ass 6'9" tight end who's awesome, who Dre said today is the Kyle Pitts of this draft. And he corrected it by saying, in terms of athletic freak show. Okay. I was like, okay, nice catch.
Nice little caveat,
yeah. Jalen Carter got taken in for misdemeanor. He's back at the combine now, Josh. But yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah. It was, basically what happened was the probably truth is that he was racing the teammate that then crashed and died.
Right.
The opposite end of it was that he was in the situation, had bad stories. But
right.
Agree with you though. Greg would like him. Keyshawn Boutte, he'll get drafted. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to even, that kid is weird. Other names that I do like in here, I'm going down the list of people that were invited.
I got one more that wasn't. Are you ready?
Good.
This running back
we're going to get through Wyoming's entire roster tonight, right? Huh, Josh?
No.
Okay, cool. I
just want to make sure. All of the Mountain West. That's all.
Yeah.
Played 14 games, had 261 attempts, 1,372 yards, and 18 tutties. Good player.
Good player.
Jordan Mims from Fresno State.
Yeah, Mims. Yeah, Denzel Mims is the guy that everyone really is talking about. I like the Mims last name. Or not, is it Denzel Mims?
Jordan
Denzel Mims, yeah.
Is this player.
But no, I'm just saying Mims, good last name for football.
Okay. Mims name.
So the names here, Jalen Hyatt, Tennessee. Another name at wide receiver he was
a stud.
Tremendous. You can talk about, their quarterback play all you want and go that route. I think he was truly a good wide receiver.
He also made plays when it mattered.
Yeah.
He held onto the ball.
I very much agree. The name that I genuinely believe so there's Cedric Tillman too, who's on Tennessee, but Hyatt's the guy. Yeah. Here's the name, guys. And Greg, you'll probably know this name, Josh. I don't know if you do. Michigan State's Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
He is, I believe, a fifth-year senior bowl. Dude is so tiny. He will get drafted in the second or third round, primarily for special teams, and work his way up the wide receiver rankings on that team. He's probably the best punt kick returner in this entire class.
I was trying to remember because I was reading Alex Kazora's practice notes during the Senior Bowl, and they just could not stop talking glowingly about him.
Yep.
About even in his one-on-one drills were excellent and stuff like that. He strikes me as a guy that I could see Bill Belichick drafting in the second round, probably just for the sake of his special teams usage and all that. So I would be intrigued to see how he does as well. What is his size? Is he 5'9", 5'10", maybe?
Yeah, 5'9" on his best day, I think.
Okay.
That's
going to be the knock on him.
They say he's 6 foot on Wikipedia. No way he's 6 foot. Ew. 6 foot 185 is what they say here.
Wait till the measurements.
Sidney Crosby is 6'2", for sure.
Huh? Did not know
Baker
that.
Mayfield is not 5'9". Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really any other wide receivers I'm geeked or in love with. There was one other name. I see Marvin Mims here. I like that call a lot, Josh, to be honest with you. I can't think of who it was. I think that's really all the receivers that I kind of care about right now, except
the one guy too, also for Penn State, who was hurt a lot of the year and is like a sleeper dark horse guy that might do something. Parker Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of one of those big body type receivers and stuff that might good slot guy and all that might make some headway in the combine and stuff.
I saw us taking him in one of the mocks.
Yeah, I would say though, but like my point is like if he has a good combine, he might be a day 2 pick or something because like they'll look at because I guess teams will probably look at injury history and try to make that determination for that. But yeah, I think it's kind of fair to say that just this wide receiver class is it's just subpar compared to some of the previous class.
3 to 4 starters.
Yes,
like guys, but
like compared to previous years though, like this is like. It's nowhere close. Now, it's weird to say that the wide receiver class is down, but the tight end class is absurdly deep.
Let's go through I have the tight end list up.
It is absurdly deep.
Tight ends right now, and then hit running backs, quarterbacks, and be off it. But so tight end list right now. I mean, Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. People are calling him the tight end in the class. Michael Mayer, I think, is the more built tight end, but Kincaid offers, in my opinion, Greg, it comes down to the Michael Mayer, the complete tight end, meaning he's there on all 4 downs, he's blocking all that stuff, to Kincaid, who is the athletic. So Michael Mayer might be your George Kittle. Kincaid seems more like your Darren Wallen. I
was going to say if you wanted to go more like a previous draft history and stuff, or the 2 Iowa tight ends, TJ Hawkinson and Noah Fant. Yeah. Kincaid would be the Noah Fant, and Meyer would be the Hawkinson in that sense. Kind of like.
Let's hope it's not the Noah Fant. That didn't work out.
Luke Musgrave out of Oregon State is set to go in that 3-4 round there, which is great. And then Josh previously mentioned Darnell Washington, who was like 6'9".
Huge.
The good thing is, if he fails as a tight end, you just make him fat and he's a tackle.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing about it too is like supposedly he's actually he's a decent blocker, which is something.
I was 6'9", and it's at least hard to get around you.
Well, here's the thing too. I expected the way that he was being described to me. I thought he was just all catch. He was like the Jimmy Graham tight end that he just was like all he did was just go out in the slot and try to make play. He didn't even bother trying to do that. Giggle.
That's funny. So that's Is there anyone else in tight end you guys want to talk about? I really don't care too much outside of the top.
Man,
4,
Michael Mayer had 9 touchdowns this year and 800 yards.
Michael Mayer
he's going to be a franchise tight end.
He's a stud.
Michael Mayer coming into this year was looked at as a top 5 overall talent in this class.
He had 840 yards the year before. Only 7 tutties.
He's Jason Witten. It's not the sexiest. He's a guy though. He's everywhere.
That's the problem. Like tight ends are just like
holy.
I couldn't even tell you because Travis Kelce and George Kittle were not first round draft
third
picks.
and 6th, 3rd and 5th, I think.
Yeah,
who's the last? Was Gronk or Aaron Hernandez the last tight end taken in the first round? Okay, duh. Other than Kyle Pitts.
Greg, let's try and name off the top of our heads before Josh Googles. Outside of Kyle Pitts, Hawkinson and Font were both first round. Evan Ingram.
Yep. Yeah. 10th.
David Njoku.
Browns. Yep.
This is a good one you're missing. Njoku, yes. Ingram, yes.
Hayden Hurst.
Yep.
That's right.
Was the one.
First rounder.
Yep.
Because Mark Andrews same year, 3rd round.
He was late. He was 25.
Yeah. I really think that's.
There's been 2017 was kind of loaded. Njoku, Ingram, OJ Howard, all 3 taken in the first round.
Bust.
Yeah, right. Big bust.
Cool.
Yeah, but and that's the thing too with tight ends. Like it's just going to be one of those situations that like unless you're a unicorn of an athlete like Kyle Pitts was,
I agree.
It's hard to justify.
You carry 3 of them on a 56-man, 53-man roster,
right?
And there's only I would say maybe 3 or 4 elite tight ends.
Are you ready for this, Derek? Eric Ebron was a first-round draft pick.
Yes, he was.
Lions. Detroit Lions. Forgot about that.
He fucking sucked.
He did. Let's get through quarterbacks we're excited about to watch at the Combine. Let's start with Bryce Young. I think his height's not going to be a massive issue. His size is what Mel Kiper keeps saying.
Supposedly he will not be throwing, so there's that.
Right now, I will say it. Let it know on March 2nd, Bryce Young will be the first pick in the draft.
What?
Bryce Young will be the first pick in the draft.
All right, bobblehead bet.
Who do you think?
Ooh.
Anybody. But the fucking Bears have the first pick.
Right. He's saying that they're either going to
Don't
trade
get
the
naive,
pick
buddy.
or he thinks that
Right.
he thinks they'll trade Justin Fields. One of the two
Bobblehead
will
bet.
happen.
I'll do a
Bobblehead bet.
bobblehead bet there, and I'll do a bobblehead that the first pick is a quarterback, Josh, since you think the Bears stay. I'll do 2 separate bobblehead bets with you.
Ooh. Okay, so here's what I'm willing to bet.
Oh, you're pulling a fucking Greg.
No, let's upgrade the bobblehead.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do.
But what if it's a quarter? What if it's Will? You know what I mean?
Okay, whatever. I'm saying quarterback's not taken first overall.
I'm saying quarterback is
Oh.
taken first overall. So
So-
that's the
Okay.
bobblehead bet.
well,
So it's
no,
just
let's
quarterback then. It's not
no,
Bryce
let's
Young.
make let's make it a big bobble, like either 2 bobbleheads or like a mega Funko or like that
So
that
either
cool thing I sent you.
It's either we each send each other a bobblehead. If it is a quarterback, but it's Will Levis. If it's a quarterback and Bryce Young, I get a big bobblehead. If it's not a quarterback, you get a big bobblehead.
Okay, so Bryce Young not being taken first. We can clean this up afterwards. But
Here's what it is. If Bryce Young goes first,
okay,
I get a big bobblehead. If no quarterback goes first, you get a big bobblehead.
okay,
If a quarterback goes first, that's not Bryce Young, we send each other bobbleheads.
we send each other bobbleheads. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I don't think the Bears take a quarterback.
I absolutely agree with you.
So why? Okay. Anyway,
He's giving the
There's
notion
a
that they'll
0%
trade.
chance that the Bears finish the draft having taken the number 1 overall pick. There is a 0% chance that happens.
that's
The
what
Colts,
you're saying.
the Texans, the Seahawks,
You think
the
someone's going
Raiders.
up. Okay. All right.
Right.
Okay.
There's a so what I'm saying to you, Josh, is at the very least, I am getting a bobblehead.
Okay. Good. Okay. Good.
Okay,
Move
all
on.
right, cool.
Yeah.
Good talk. Good talk. Quarterbacks, I'm excited to see at the combine. So Bryce Young with his small frame, Will Levis in his arm. Next.
Stroud, I think, is kind of like the full prospect of it, I guess. So that's fine. But I'm excited to see Anthony Richardson at least show off his athleticism and then have scouts drool over it and then realize that he is not ready. And then get like all that overhyped crap and all that. I'm excited. I'm excited for the fact that Anthony Richardson is going to get a lot of love because he will probably do every athletic trait well.
Yeah, so after week 1 of college football, Anthony Richardson was the number 1 pick. After week 2 of college football, Anthony Richardson was lucky to be drafted in the 3rd round. The tape on this guy. So, Greg, I previously said something where I stood by the Seattle Seahawks not selecting a quarterback because when you surpass your win total by 4 games and you make the playoffs, you need to add, not subtract.
Right.
If they move back, let's say they move back to the Panthers pick at 9. So Seattle moves from 5 to 9.
Yeah.
Panthers move up to 5, get their quarterback. So we're looking at Bryce Young at 1. We're looking at, Will Levis at 4 for the Panthers. We're looking at CJ Stroud at 7 for the Raiders. 9 is Anthony Richards' landing spot because Seattle will absolutely take the quarterback of the future and Anthony Richardson and let him sit behind Geno Smith, Anthony Richardson needs a mentor. Seattle will not take a quarterback at 5. If they trade back and Richardson is there, which is a big if after this weekend, Seattle should and will take Anthony Richardson, who is instantly a top 5 rushing quarterback in the NFL.
I'm thrown off for a second because you actually didn't even say the Colts. You don't think the Colts are going to take QB?
I don't know. I think the Colts might do it. They might trade up to 1 and take Bryce.
That's what this mock
Okay.
that I have on CBS Sports Up says. That
So-
they'll trade up.
Yeah, the large thesis here, I apologize, Greg. I don't think any of those teams are built to take Richardson right now. The Raiders, the Panthers, the Colts, and the Texans, none of them have a quarterback in place that I would feel comfortable Richardson learning from.
Yep.
Panthers, if they re-sign Darnold, maybe.
Which I
Colts-
believe they've already talked about. Or like
Yes.
I've read stuff that the Panthers apparently are like talking to the Packers about Rodgers too. So like that's even like up in the air
Yeah.
at that point. So
I
we'll
mean,
see.
you're looking at Carr to sign somewhere. You're looking at Rodgers somewhere. There's a lot of moving parts. For
Right.
me, I don't think any team has the luxury of taking Richardson and force. I mean, and this is going to be an unfair comp, Greg, but it feels like Deshaun Kaiser. And hear me out. Richardson's a much better athlete, much better quarterback. Deshaun Kaiser showed flashes of brilliance, came out a year too early, and was taken by the Browns and forced to start and turn to shit.
Yep.
If Anthony Richardson is forced to start next year, which he would at the Texans, which he would at the Colts, which he would at the Panthers, which he would at the Raiders over Jared Stidham right now, I think it's a bust pick.
Mm-hmm. So this is essentially the Patrick Mahomes situation that is needed in this case. Now, granted,
yes,
Mahomes was a lot better coming out of college than Richardson is right now. Very much so. That is a clear case in that sense.
But Anthony Richards is so explosive, God. He's so much fun to watch.
He is. Josh, he has tantalizing is probably a word they'll use a lot.
Great word.
He has tantalizing athletic traits that are going to wow everyone that sees him. But if you have him start his rookie year at all, it is going to blow up in your face. And actually, I would not be opposed at all if it's a situation that is also like Jordan Love, where he doesn't just sit for a year. He hasn't just sit for a year. He sits for maybe 2 or 3. If you
tell you why I don't like that?
Why?
I don't believe there's a team in the first round who has a starter they're proud of who would take Anthony Richardson.
Interesting.
I mean, we can go through.
God,
we can go through the draft.
Utah was so fucking good. I'm sorry.
So
I watched that whole game. I just remember being like,
"You're good."
I don't know who this Florida quarterback is, but he's fucking balling.
So Chicago, not taking him.
Yeah. No.
Houston, not taking him. Arizona, not taking him. Colts, no. Seattle, no. Detroit at 6.
You know,
love that.
They're not. But
but I love that.
But they also have the pick at 18 that they could trade up in that case too, and maybe do that if they wanted. But they're not. They're not wasting this. They're not wasting the 6 on there.
Do you know who's the true dark horse to start him in year 1?
Atlanta.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
They just cut Mariota,
yep.
which it made sense. It was logical. He did well. They're ready to move on. Ritter's there though. We'll see what happens. Carolina, they shouldn't, but they could. Philly, they're not taking him. Tennessee. This city would burn down if Hendon Hooker is not a Tennessee Titan by the end of the draft.
Oh, that'd be incredible. Can you imagine? I would not even.
The best argument I heard at work was his name's Andrew. He's a good old boy from here. And then Sam, who's on my social team. Sam's from Georgia. He's a Georgia fan. Go Dogs.
Okay.
Andrew, Tennessee fan. Andrew was ripping on Stetson Bennett's age. Sam said, he's the same age as Hendon Hooker. And Andrew's response was, Hendon's 1 month younger.
I mean, he's trying to make a literal point, so I'm cool with it. I like it.
Do you know what other team? So let's just, for the sake of it, Houston for Cleveland, they're not doing it. Jets, I think they get a big name. New England.
I think Bill's gonna ride with Mac until the train falls off. Yeah.
Green Bay, no. Washington, if he falls to the Commanders,
that'd be something. That'd be something, actually. Which
he would have weapons that make him look better, maybe than he is.
And we could all agree that Sam Howell's a fraud. So
actually, you know what's scary? When I was watching the combine.
No, go ahead.
When I was watching the combine, they had Ron Rivera in the booth while they were doing defensive tackle training, and Ron Rivera said that they had a 2nd-round grade on Sam Howell in their draft, and that they addressed their needs with their first 4 picks, saw him in the 5th round, and got excited to.
I think a lot of people had a high grade on. I genuinely believe Sam Howell had a high grade on a lot of boards.
Mm-hmm.
Since we spent a lot of time talking on that, let's.
Where's Hendon Hooker go?
So Hendon Hooker for me is a 2nd to 3rd round. Dre said he sneaks into the last pick of the 1st. I said, Dre, you're an idiot. Stop breathing oxygen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he just. Go ahead.
Well, has he even recovered from his ACL surgery yet? He's still going to be.
He wouldn't be ready by the season. So Hendon Hooker is going to be a really nice backup for a team that's really good.
I feel like he'd be more day 3 guy, honestly.
Man,
okay.
We're talking about a 4-year starter.
Mm-hmm.
Man, not maybe. Yeah, 4-year. You are talking a 4-year starter.
Ooh,
okay.
Deke. Does Hendon Hooker fit the Bill Parcells model for quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Does he?
Career
Oh,
starter,
okay.
old as fuck,
Mhm.
big boy.
College degree. The ratio is like
He has thrown for over 1,000 yards in all 4 years he started. The last 2 years, he was over 2,000. He almost touched 3,000 yards last year. He surpassed 3,000 yards this year. Threw for 31 tutties in 2021 and 27 last year.
Can I?
And only 2 picks last year.
I'm gonna blind read you a resume, Josh,
Okay.
and you tell me if you would rather have this guy the last 2 years of football or
Love it.
Hendon Hooker.
Love it. Okay. So I'm going against Hendon Hooker. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, go.
And before you do that real quick, these are the actual like rules for Bill Parcells quarterbacks, okay?
Please.
You have to be a 3-year starter,
Okay.
be a senior in college,
Okay.
graduate from college,
Okay.
start 30 games,
Hendon
Yeah.
checks all those.
Yep.
win 23 games,
Yep.
I don't know if he won 23, but okay.
I
Post
think
a-
they did.
post a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio,
Well past that.
and complete at least 60% passes thrown.
Yep. Okay, good. In fact, he
So
has
he's a
never been below 60 in his starting career.
So he's a Bill Parcells quarterback, though.
Okay, great. What's the blind one?
This is a. I'm gonna pull. Actually, I'm gonna give you two
Okay.
because these are both combine quarterbacks. Okay.
Currently or
Currently,
Okay,
they're
great.
in this draft class.
great. Lay it on me.
2021. This is QB1. 2021. Completions 185, attempts 287. Completion percentage 64.5. Yards 2,862. Touchdown interception 29-7. QB rating 176.7. 2022 for QB1.
That's pretty fucking good. Okay, great. Okay, good.
310 completions on 454 attempts. Completion percentage 68.3. Yards 4,127.
It's Stetson
Touchdown
Bennett.
to interception 27-7.
It's Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. The first year I was like, that was pretty good. Then the second year I was like, oh, it's fucking Stetson Bennett. Yeah.
Stats for another quarterback in this class.
Okay.
2021 for QB2.
Yeah.
Attempts 227, completions 145. Completion percentage 63.9. Yards 2,048. Touchdown interception 16-6. 2022. Attempts 419, completion 267 for a 63.7 completion percentage. Yards 3,698. Touchdown to interception 32-8 with a rating of 159.2. Would you rather have Hendon Hooker or QB2?
Wow.
Who's QB2?
Max Duggan.
Oh, shit.
You know what? The 16 touchdown thing in the first year
got me.
should have been the throwaway. Damn.
You got me.
It's
You
tough
got me.
because I also enjoy Hendon Hooker, Josh.
Because and you know what? And this doesn't help because of the Stetson Bennett argument, but like SEC,
It's tough.
right?
Dude, that makes Stetson Bennett look so good.
It makes
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett look so fucking nasty when you. And I guess the difference is right. Like Stetson Bennett's throwing to like legitimate future NFL
George
starting
Pickens,
receivers versus.
I was gonna say.
And the defense is.
Well, I was also
the
gonna
other end.
say last year. I don't think was Georgia's receiver group like even like that highly regarded like this past year. Like I know the
They're
tight
just
ends
young.
the tight ends are extraordinary, but the receivers I didn't think that anyone like
Georgie was
anyone
hurt
like-
all year.
okay.
I say we get to a game because we are already at 7:40 my time, 8:40 your time, 6:40 your time.
God bless time zones.
God bless it.
Mhm.
Does
And I
that
have
make us
the Pens game.
bilingual or something?
Trilingual.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually have the Pens game on in front of me. They're up 3-2, so that's nice too.
Could you focus on the show for one episode in 6 years?
I'm
Who's got something
trying.
on the TV?
What? I
I'm watching our show
multitask.
to read comments.
I can multitask. Thank you.
Hello,
very
Tyler
much.
Yeah.
Wallenberg. All right. 3, 2, 1, and they're off. March
Damn, I
Madness
haven't even got
trivia
that
is slow. Non-craft beer
Da-da-da-da.
drafts kind of seems to. Oh, March Madness trivia is just charging ahead.
Shut up, Bloodborne.
Worthless
Oh my
Pokemon,
God.
though, coming
Do it.
out of nowhere.
I'm going to the bathroom. Figure it out.
Wow.
Worthless
No way.
Pokemon
Wow.
in the Steelers' colors of all. Damn.
Son of a bitch. That's fun. I like that one.
Second was Guess That Logo. Kind of bummed because Guess That Logo was all NHL themed. So.
Ah, that would have been good.
That would have
been good.
Okay.
Did you have all throwback logos and stuff, or were they like actually like newer ones?
They were all current NHL teams. That's what I'll just say that.
Fair.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Let me see who goes first here. That was fun. That was good. That was a good race. Worthless Pokemon came out of freaking nowhere. Okay. And they're off. Let's see. Go. 3, 2, 1. Now they're off. Man, I'm killing it. Oh, Deke. Actually, we all kind of have a horse in this race right now. Greg, you're kind of killing it in these bit colors up here, man. I'm loving that for you.
I got the spirit.
You got the spirit.
You know?
Oh, I crushed it coming out of the bottom, out of nowhere. Let's see who finishes second.
What do we get?
Greg finishes second. Derek is third. Okay.
Nice. What are we doing?
We're doing Worthless Pokemon.
Oh.
Yes.
So this is original 150.
Yes, original 150.
Okay.
Yes.
I would also like, now we can take this or not. I don't think you can pick a first evolution.
Ooh.
So if it's a one evolution, right? Like a Tauros, fine. But if it's, you can't, like, you picking Weedle, like, I'm gonna punch you in the nuts. Like, if you're picking Caterpie, I'm gonna punch you in the nuts.
No, okay. First, one thing. Stop naming Pokemon.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
because we clearly haven't decided the rules of this yet.
Sorry.
Josh literally named 153 of the Pokemon that are in the 151.
Or more to see, as the song
For
goes.
me, that takes away about 4 or 5 key ones that are only two evolution forms.
Yeah.
Oh, the 2 evolution. Okay, let's say first evolution of 3.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
So
Okay.
if it's a 3 evolution, you can't select the first. I believe that's low-hanging fruit. I'm with you, Josh. It's
Yes.
very early.
Yes.
But 2 evolution ones, there's a lot.
True. There's one in particular who should be 1-1.
It
Yes,
is the one.
okay,
Yeah,
all
the
right,
one.
all right, all right.
That-
I'm
yes.
first.
I was waiting, Greg. Oh, magic. Those.
I know, right?
First.
Suck it in.
I was waiting for you to say that name in your cadence of rambling there. I was like, please don't.
Okay, so I'm 1, Greg's 2, you're 3. Do we want to go back to the top, or do we want to do Snake?
Let's do Snake for this one because we
Sure.
did back to top. Let's just alternate weeks with that thing.
Love that.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, sure.
I like the other one, but I also like Snake. I didn't really feel some type of way about either one. I think it's just a nice switch up.
Okay. 1-1, and I'm currently, and this is the first time I'm announcing this publicly, I am going to play through all the Pokemon games in order.
You need a fucking job, man.
Way too much time on your hands.
Jesus Christ,
Way too much
Greg.
time on your hands.
We're 30 years old, Josh.
I'm 30. I'm going to be 33
Yeah.
in like 2 months.
Aw.
You're wearing
Way to
suits
remind
and
him.
shades to review pizza. You're
Like back hair and all that. There's such a thing as never growing up, and Josh is like prime example of it,
Opening
and I love it.
Pokemon packs, like I'm fucking getting excited.
Remember when he used to say
Anastasia
Greg's
pulled-
going to live in my basement? It's going to be Josh now.
That's true. That's true. God love her.
The
She's not
opening
going to
thing,
leave
though-
me, so it'll be both of us. You know.
Ping, that's fine.
Yeah,
Her and I
okay.
can hang out. Ping did love your card opening, by the way.
He texted me or in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Okay. So I just literally, no joke, spent about 2 days grinding it out with this homie, but now he has evolved. So give me Magikarp 1-1.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the big one where we're talking about the generation of guys.
Yeah.
It just has to happen.
He's terrible, but he does learn tackle at one point. Dude, I don't know if you know this.
What?
At 15,
No
he learns,
way.
hang on. At 15, he learns tackle, but his attack is only
like-
3. So
Okay, I was going to say
literally,
4.
like you blow, like even if you go back, okay, and like you backtrack and you find like a level 5 Pokemon,
Yeah.
okay, and you're attacking it, right? You burn out of tackles before he
Yes.
kills the level 5
Okay,
Pokemon.
Yeah.
wait a second. Well, I mean, here's the other thing too. Like, I
great.
think we all kind of did the trick where like we would get Magikarp out front,
Yeah.
and then like immediately take
you
him
get
back
the
to get the
XP share.
experience. Yeah, or like do all that. So, but I'm blown away by the fact that he knew anything other than Splash.
Yeah.
that
So
threw me off so
I
much.
caught a level like 40 Magikarp at the end of the game that knew tackle. I didn't know it learned it.
It
I thought
learns
you had
it
to
at
catch
15.
one.
Yeah.
I thought you had to catch one that had it.
No, it learns it at 15.
All right. Is Greg too? Or
Greg's
I?
up.
And
All right.
okay.
Sorry. So this next
Don't
one
say
for
sorry.
me,
I love you.
this next one is also kind of easy because it was in the early episodes of Pokemon. So it's got to be, and you're taking out the first evolution. So I do the second evolution. Give me Metapod.
Yeah.
I was really geeked to get my 2 in the back-to-back here.
Wild Metapod sucks.
I love I love in that one of the early episodes too, where it's like Ash versus Samurai, and both their Metapods are fighting each other, and they're just doing Harden together at the same time. It's great.
Yeah. Good call, Greg. Derek,
I
you got 2.
I will add this.
Okay.
I don't believe that's the correct one of the 2. Because I would much rather have Butterfree than Beedrill. So give me Kakuna.
Yeah.
Okay.
I personally believe, I think Kakuna is the clear 2, and I was geeked to try to get both of them. Greg, is there a reason you picked a Metapod over Kakuna, or just because to me, Metapod's cool because Ash had him? Kakuna's just there.
No, Metapod's cool, and yes, I would much rather have Butterfree. But when I think of like in my head, when I'm thinking of worthless Pokemon, it's between one of those two. So for
And
me,
one of them gives you a sick Pokemon, and the other one's a bee.
Yeah.
And it evolves
that's
from
not-
Party Hat Worm.
But that's not like the tiebreaker here. It's literally just which one is worthless, and that's the first one that came to my mind because I wanted Metapod. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would like the one that does Harden.
James Harden. Yeah. What up, Ty?
He just fucking the Sixers took a glancing blow there.
Yeah, Ben Simmons
God,
sucks
Mark.
ass.
That was so
Fuck you, Ben
uncalled
Simmons.
for.
All right, I'm up for my second.
Yeah.
I was for a half second there when Greg was talking. I was like, if I get Metapod and Kakuna, that'd be crazy.
That would be fun.
Yeah, give me Rattata.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, he's one of the early ones that like you need and you have. He is an HMTM slave. He gets cut and flash and dig and like he is useful in that situation, but as a raw Pokemon, that mouse is absolutely worthless.
But it is one of the most fun games on Pokemon Stadium is Rattata Run.
100%.
100%. So is the Harden game with Kakuna and Metapod.
The heart.
that's
Here's
besides
how
the
I'll
point.
word it, Greg. I was pissed. I would restart the game if I wasn't Metapod. That's how much
Same.
better Metapod is than Kakuna for me.
I felt like the point broke the
Yeah.
rocks better. I don't know.
Yeah. Kakuna's just circle and just bat. The Metapod was like breaking rocks, man.
What an irrational thought.
What a wild concept.
Yeah. It's a great game. All right, Greg, you're up.
All right. So I want to make sure this one counts or not because technically he
We
does have a
such
third.
a clear path
Rule.
to what counts and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, it is
No.
What are you
But
fucking
here's the
talking
thing. No. Here, let me explain. You said it's not beginner evolutions. He doesn't have his third evolution until another region.
This is
Oh, that's fine.
151.
150.
This is
You're
That's
fine.
fine.
151.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. Give me Zubat.
That's a great pull.
Yeah,
Yes.
Greg. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Crobat
yeah.
is not in the 151.
Okay.
And
I
Crobat
love-
sucks too, so what's it matter?
And can we all agree too that Supersonic is just like
Dumb.
is pretty useless.
It's
just
useless
like,
unless it's used on you. Like,
That's fair.
oh, look out. Here's Trainer Joey. Oh, my Pokemon he's not confused anymore. And then I'm in a gym and my fucking Bulbasaur can't even speak English to me. He's like, "Bleh."
Speak English. Why is Bulbasaur speaking English to begin with?
Bulbasaur saying Bulbasaur is speaking English. We
Oh,
can all
yes.
agree on
okay,
that.
all right.
We can
Okay,
all
okay,
agree on that.
Fine.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I'm jumping right to the final evolutions. Okay?
Yeah. I'm interested in what the finals we accept are.
Nidoqueen is fucking worthless.
Ooh.
Nidoking is barely functional. Nidoqueen is worthless.
I don't know, man, because like depending on how you train them, like they know ground and rock attacks. They know some punches like ice or fire.
Greg, has a Nidoqueen ever been in your top 6?
Not that I recall. Maybe Stadium
Done.
at one point, but
Done.
no.
We're
No.
done here.
We have a comment.
Okay.
It says, "Hi, I picked Jinx because of blackface. Shout out Anastasia Lawrence."
Jinx knew ice attacks, so I mean that was kind
Greg,
of.
stop defending people that wear blackface, please, on the show.
Okay.
I personally think Nidoqueen is a terrific pick. I think
Thank you.
Nidoking, in my opinion, is kind of worthless too. He's not on my board because the poison aspect always
Right.
does well for me.
Right.
But Nidoqueen, I don't think I ever got a Nidoqueen.
Okay, next up, Persian. Anybody that takes the time to evolve in a Meowth
damn.
is an idiot.
Facts. It's a good pick.
So if you have a Persian, like I don't know how'd you get there? Who hurt you that you evolved a Meowth into a Persian? Fuck
That's a good
Persian.
point.
Greg, you're up.
Any
I'm
normal type is just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed because I
Well-
actually wanted to take. I was gonna take Meowth, but now I'm kind of like, you already took Persian, so that's kind of like. I don't really know if I want to do that now. So I'm going to go a different route. I've never used one in like an attack mode or anything like that. So give me Chansey.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I've
Chansey's
never-
Oh,
worthless.
wow.
I like, don't get me wrong. Like as in terms of like someone who's like, in the Pokemon Center and stuff, like, and is nursing Pokemon back to health. Cool.
That's my
but-
argument. That's my argument.
But
No,
in, like in terms
genuinely.
of battle, no, I get it. But like in terms of battle, in
I don't
terms of,
see
like,
the word
using it,
battle
like,
in this draft, Greg.
We didn't
I'm
clarify
sorry.
show versus
I see worthless
versus
Pokemon.
anything. Yeah.
I mean, Chansey's literally bringing Pokemon back to life. Greg, do you hate doctors and nurses?
Also, Chansey?
No, my mom's a nurse.
So you hate your
Also-
mom?
Hey, Chansey's a holographic card.
The one you pulled, yeah, that's true. It was.
Aren't they
Chansey's
all
holographic.
Huh.
Persian's not holographic. Nidoqueen isn't. Nidoking is. Just saying. Just saying. I don't know, Greg. I'm kind of swaying on you.
To me, if we're going anything in the video game, Chansey to me was like an elite, evasive, I have to get it Pokemon. Like I felt like you had to go to what was the zoo area called? Safari.
Yeah.
Safari Zone? Yeah.
I had to go to
Chansey.
Safari Zone. I felt like it was hard to get. So that's why I liked it. In terms of actual battle usage, Greg, I agree with you. Like egg toss just doesn't do it for me.
Right.
Like, she goes,
Didn't get the job done.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it was egg bomb, maybe, but not egg toss.
Also, shout out to Atlanta because I think Teddy Perkins proves that Atlanta is in the Pokemon world because that ostrich egg is a Chansey egg.
Yeah.
Shout out Teddy Perkins. All right, I'm up for 2, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with Pharaoh.
Ooh.
Hear me out. The realm of birds in this first generation, kind of cool. Sparrow and Pharaoh suck ass. Pharaoh is terrible.
They're basically just jerks when you think
Yes.
about it. Yeah.
The first episode, Pikachu. I hate Pharaoh. I think Pharaoh is the Pokemon on the list that I've used the least.
I need that clip. Greg, they're just basically jerks if you think about it.
They are.
The if you think about it part was nice, Greg.
Mhm.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Pharaoh, absolutely. Next.
Okay. I'm stuck between 2. I think you guys are going to get it because you're both doing really, really well this time.
This time, geez.
You
Okay.
normally don't draft this well.
One of
Yeah.
us is actually playing Pokemon Blue. The other 2 aren't. I'm just leaving that out there.
Yeah, we have jobs. Give me Shelter.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
Cloyster would have also counted here either way.
I love dude.
Cloy-
the TV
Cloyster's
show
got
Cloyster
ice.
on the bike episode when she
Oh.
grabbed Charmander's little backwards dick and just went meh. That was sick.
Yeah, Cloyster's
His
got
tail,
Aurora
sorry.
beam, man. Like that thing could do some damage if you weren't careful.
Yeah, Cloyster had ice, which was massive in this generation.
Mm-hmm.
True. Which then would become its own thing, which was bizarre. But yeah, anyway.
But you could see a lot of these Pokemon had like, oh wow, he can do that one thing, and then like we should
Right.
probably make that a fucking thing.
Right.
I remember I used to think that like Cloyster and Ghastly were kind of like were maybe like somewhat close in evolution because I would think
Oh.
like if Cloyster opened up, like it would be
True.
Ghastly. It's a weird thing.
I don't hate that,
Never-
Greg.
Never proven right though. So
Okay, Greg.
All right,
You're
I
up.
feel good.
this one pains me because I do think he's a cool design, but honestly, he is kind of useless. Far-fetched.
No, yeah. Those are what I was
love-
between.
I love Farfetched.
He carries
but
around
is
a leek,
useless.
Josh. He hit you with a vegetable.
He's useless. I'm sorry. He's cool, but he's useless.
What name something he's good at, Josh?
I've carried a Farfetch in my top 6.
What did he do?
100%.
You also carried Wyoming's media mentions the past 3 years on this show. I don't really.
That's not much of
What's
a
the
statement.
claim there? Farfetch is the Wyoming of Pokemon. Like I don't. It seems cool in theory, but once you get it, you're like, ah.
Listen,
It's
he
not
talks a big
but-
game. He speaks softly and carries a big stick. You
Oh,
know, that's
man.
literally
Yeah.
far-fetched.
The
He
tales
is.
of him being good is far-fetched. That's the way his name came about. I love that Pokemon. Well, that's not true. That's a far-fetched tale.
Also, that's a
Hesitant.
great episode when he is stealing all the shit.
When he's just like, bah!
Yeah. Yeah. He's stealing all the
Celery
Pokemon
stick.
with that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Not a fan.
Okay. Wow. Incredible.
I haven't seen one yet that I've been upset with, other than I think, not upset. Chansey's the only one where I'm like, I kind of like Chansey. Everyone else makes sense
I'm
on
just-
this list, just for the
I'm
record.
brutalized by the Farfetch call. Okay. Parasect. What are we doing?
Damn it. Yeah, I have that. I have
Yeah.
that.
What are we
That
doing?
was-
Yeah.
So for me, the reason I didn't take Parasect, full transparency, is because, again, I was a sucker for poison.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a
You've
terrible
stated
person.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good pick, though.
Man, okay, and then I have so many. I could go forever. Tangela. What the fuck is going on here? Tangela.
It's mostly it's poison. Yeah, pretty much.
It's worthless. It's fucking worthless. Is that
Ty
a
said
child
Chansey
underneath
Ultimate.
there?
Oh, true.
What is that thing? What?
Chansey was an ultimate XP farm, so just experience points. That's a fair point, Pang, in the game.
Yep.
What
What's
up,
up,
NBA
NBA
Rigged?
Riggs?
What up? I apologize for belated. Wonderful stream. How you 3 and 5 down? We're good, buddy. Blood Bomb, NBA Rigged once again together. That's our two favorite little viewers there.
Anastasia, what are you crying about? What's the one that you didn't like?
I hope it was me telling you that Wyoming is the far-fetched of
Yeah.
Pokemon, but
All right,
Uh,
that closes out mine. Tangelo is my last pick. Greg.
I have a couple, Greg, so I'm very curious.
Yeah, I have some thoughts about this one, but
Were you gonna say
You-
in my head?
yeah,
I got
I
thoughts
was
in
for a
my
second.
head.
I got thoughts in my head. This one's honest. This one might be a little controversial. He's more so just kind of a pest than anything. Give me
Hmm.
Mankey.
Ooh.
Strong disagree because of the TV show, though.
If it was, I love Primeape. Love Primeape.
That's the other thing.
but-
I
but
will suck it up
Mankey,
to get a primate. I will suck it up, but I
But-
don't hate you.
Yeah, Mankey's just kind of a pest. Like the only thing that he did, he stole Ash's hat. You know, that's it. Like I get it, and there's a couple other options I was thinking of too.
Primate's
But
so
like,
sick, though.
but yeah, Primeape is a badass. Like Mankey, no, doesn't do anything
Well,
for me.
Ash has a Primeape, not a Mankey.
No, I know.
Well,
like the Mankey,
Yeah, the Mankey
the
stole his
Mankey that's
hat.
supposed to, and then
No.
he evolved into
Fought the
Primeape.
Mankey.
Primeape steals the hat.
Mankey steals the hat. He fights it with Charmander. It evolves.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I
Yeah.
promise you, it was a Mankey when it took the hat.
You're fine.
I know. 'cause
And-
I'm right.
Yeah, Primeape's a badass. Like I'm not arguing that. It's just Mankey in general. Like it barely knows any like fighting techniques or anything like that. So like there's just I'm not crazy about it.
I think
That's
let me
second
look up.
generation NBA rig.
Happening.
We're
yeah,
only
I
doing
was gonna
first
say,
generation.
Happening was it was generation 4, Josh.
Oh, well, yeah, shit. Way later.
Sorry, I just Googled it. I had no idea when it happened. I think you're thinking of Chansey. Or not Chansey. Who was the egg? Tokapi.
Tokapi. But
Tokapi.
Tokapi is second generation. She's not first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, I'm up for my last one here. I don't want to break it. Give me. There's like some that are kind of cool that I hate.
If you put Dragonite
Yeah.
on this list, I'm coming through the fucking computer.
Well, I can't. It's a first on a 3.
Dragonite?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Dragonite's sick. What are you
Okay,
talking
all
about? It's
right,
the only
that's-
dragon type.
Dratini's the first one.
Dratini,
Yeah.
thank you. Give me Pinsir.
Ooh.
Mm.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
Artwork's cool. Just a bug.
Just the bug.
Terrifying bug. Terrifying
Same
bug.
thing
in
as
fairness.
Caterpie. It's just literally a parallel.
Yeah. Very
Is there a
terrifying bug
Pokemon
there.
episode or Switch game stage that you three's favorite to play or watch? The best Pokemon episode ever is the Rapidash race.
Oh, I think
Ooh.
the best Pokemon episode ever is when they save Charmander.
Yeah.
And it's like
I-
raining and
I don't
they're
like
worried.
to watch animal abuse. Yeah, I get that though.
It's so emotional.
It
cried.
is.
I just completed the first 52 episode run of Pokemon and
so good.
bawled at the Charmander episode.
The episode
Yeah.
where the dude has the sand shrew that can swim.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying. That one's terrifying. Like with the whip and stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
The one, and I say my personal favorite is Josh, the episode after that, which is the introduction of the Squirrel Squad.
Squirtle
sick.
Squad kicks ass, Greg.
Is
Yeah.
for sure.
Squirtle Squad the one where they go to the island with the giant Pokemon or no?
No,
No,
It's
no,
an amusement
that's
park.
one.
I also love the Ghastly Haunter
Yes.
exchange to get
Oh.
to as
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Which we
Alakazam.
didn't post that fucking meme. I made
Dude.
it. I didn't
Dude,
post
Sabrina
this
was
week.
a terrifying gym leader. Terrifying. Oh my God.
Other Pokemon I wanted to pick Horsey.
yeah, because
Egg-
Seadra is kind of fucking worthless too.
Yeah, Execute.
Execute.
Execute know some psychic stuff, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of why I
They're just
veered
okay.
away. I think if we were taking first of 3, Bellsprout is a clear 1 first round pick.
Yeah, but Bellsprout
Except for
kind
that
of
axe kick.
becomes
Yeah.
useful later.
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah. That's kind of like you could say Pidgey sucks or Caterpie sucks, but like
Agreed.
Butterfree and Pidgeot are
Ooh.
obviously elite. That was my one when you said
Pidgeotto's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could throw Krabby in there.
So for
actually.
me,
yeah,
I
Kingler's kind of sucks.
I was big on the TV show for like Kingler's one of my favorite Pokemon.
really.
Yeah, just like a big crab. My favorite's Jolteon though.
Yeah, I know. Jolteon. It's the fastest Pokemon ever.
So wait then. Would Eevee technically be a useless one?
No.
Because literally its only thing is to evolve.
Yeah,
Whoa,
but what
did
it
you not watch
evolves
the
into
fucking
is
episode
so
with the Eevee where the guy didn't make it evolve?
true.
No, I did, but like I think when I'm playing the games
All right,
though, like
Lieutenant Sergeant over there, Sergeant Lieutenant, whatever the hell his name was.
Would you like my
Right.
hot take?
Go ahead.
made my Pikachu evolve the second I caught it with a stone.
Pikachu sucks in the game.
Disagree, because the original ones, it takes so long to get him at the original jump. You have to wait around and go through Caterpie, Metapod, Metapod, Pikachu. Best feeling in the world.
I think Pikachu sucks in the game. I think he's worthless.
So here's the other twist on that, though. He's really the first electric type till the floating balls with magnets.
Voltorb.
True.
Thank you.
True.
That's
True.
why I liked him. I liked him for Misty's gym.
I always take Bulbasaur as my starter, so I never have a problem with the first 2 gyms.
Weak sauce.
Weak
Beta.
sauce. Bulbasaur doesn't evolve because he's proud to be a Bulbasaur. Fuck you. You don't even fucking get it. You're
Why you gotta
such
be
a
Greg's the
fucking
one that said
simp.
Eevee's just here to evolve. Fucking pure raced Greg over
That
here.
is not wrong.
This has been another wonderful episode of Two Beers Deep. Blood Bomb, NBA Rigged, Ping Anastasia for her blackface comment. That was very funny. We appreciate all you guys. This was a great episode. Greg, do you have anything else you want to say? Thank you, NBA.
Nah, I'm good.
Cool. Josh?
We need to do like a clip to get people to listen to the show on podcast. Because
Hey,
like
guys.
that ain't happening.
You mean we're not getting podcast listeners?
No,
Or...
that's yeah.
I
Hey,
do
did
listen,
you
I
miss
enjoy
the
it.
show? Make sure you
Well-
check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever
was
you
bad.
get your podcasts, or YouTube.
You did promise Blood Bomb Premier League talk.
Oh shit!
Hey, Manchester United's good again.
And Liverpool sucks again.
That was
My
Prem
team-
talk.
My team's about to get relegated. That's Prem talk.
Hey, did you miss the show and want to hear it? Check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or Apple Music, or wherever you get your favorite
Well, hold on.
podcasts.
Or on
Hold
our
on.
Anchor
Greg.
website.
Yeah, does Anchor distribute every? Where are we, Josh?
Just
Before
Apple
Greg
Podcasts and Spotify.
Okay, so Greg says wherever you get your podcasts.
We're not on
If you get yours from a microwave, we're not there.
We're not there.
Greg beat us in the FA Cup. Yeah, if you want to hear a podcast, look at us.
Hey, we talk on the internet.
Greg shows his penis.
On the podcast
Sometimes.
only,
On the
Greg
podcast
shows his
only,
penis.
yeah.
On the podcast only.
Only audio.
On the podcast
Greg shows his
only.
penis.
On the podcast.
That's
That'll
it.
do
Greg's
it.
penis. Listen to the podcast.
That'll get him.
All right. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you next week.